Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. My name is Kismet. We're going to get into it today. Holy mackerel, man. I was running down yesterday. I was playing some 76 and I just could not get really that many events. And I was like, and then my crew wasn't on. So I was like, you know what? I'll just rest up. And so I did. I rested up and here I am. I just went straight to sleep, man. I was like, oh. I was out. I've been crazy busy. It was wife's birthday yesterday. That was a lot of fun. Totally zoned on my mod meeting. I apologize to my mods. I'm old. Now, what can I say? I'm old. I forget stuff like crazy. I mean, it's so terrible. I literally forget like 10 seconds later. It's such the worst thing. I wouldn't wish it on anybody because I used to be able to be on the ball and on the thing. And I'm like, juggling all sorts of things because there's only one me. So I got to do all the work. I got to do all the works behind the scenes, like micromanaging everything and a whole bunch of videos and keeping all the stuff running that makes the stream a go. There's a lot of stuff that peeps don't see behind the scenes. I like doing it. It's a lot of fun, but it is a lot of work. And sometimes you got to choose. Okay, what do I got to do today? Do I run out of hard drive space or I do this thing over here? Right? Or do I, spend time with the family for the birthday, or do I work on that animation that I want to do? Right? Those are the big balances of life. You got to make those hard choices between what's the most important thing to do right at this moment, and that's a tough one. That's a tough one for sure to choose. But we're going to get into it today, everybody. We're going to play some Satisfactory. We're working on our beautiful factory, and I can see it running right now. You haven't seen it yet, but it'll come up here in a second. My beautiful factory, which is running, we're doing all inline building. We're doing vertical building as well. We started off in the more advanced area. We're building vertically, so we're bringing up all the resources from down below. So we're starting with our basic kind of conversion, and then we bring it up to the higher level stuff, and then we run those into some storage containers. We're going to start getting into the higher level items. Now, it's pretty easy to get it going, and if I had to do this again, I could actually start this like this and then just continually expand it as I upgrade and upgrade again. It's kind of a cool way of starting that. Sparkle Dog wants to get her barking in. So we're going to get into it here. If Sparkle feels like stopping the barking. No, see, she's hanging out with me because they're working on the downstairs, so she likes to bark at them over there. Trying to upstage me. If you guys got a Sparkle Dog emote, throw it in the chat. Are we done? I think we're done. I think the neighbor... Nope. Extra bark. I think the neighborhood is safe now, everybody. Now that Sparkle Dog has barked 5-10 times. So let's get into it, everybody. We're going to play some games. I say we just dive right into some Satisfactory. Let's go. All right, I got to go see what she's barking at now. She's barking a lot. Be right back. Apparently just wants to be part of the band. She's over there barking at the other dogs, barking outside. They're barking, so she's barking. Everybody having a great little barking fest. Let them bark all they want. All right, let's get into it, everybody. Always something, everybody. Always something I got to micromanage. Speaking of all the things I got to do, I got to micromanage the puppy. All right, let's see. What do we got? We got all this running. Now, right here, we have our plates running and we have our rods running. And we've redone all of this in our kind of middle section. We've got an upper section too, which is where all of our storage is. And you can see, whee, there we go. We can see we have that running across there and we have that running up into the upper area there. And this kind of runs across, hits these belts right here. This one comes down, that one goes straight across. And then they all end up into these boxes right here. We can get up on the side here and take a look at them coming in. There we go. And those are all feeding into there, filling up all three of these boxes and then going up to the fourth box, which is up on the top by our hub. And once these fill, we'll be able to access them from down below as well. So we've got our basics going now. Those are, I consider, the big basics, especially starting with your concrete here. You definitely want to start with that you have your concrete going and then your plates and then your rods. And so that'll fill up all of that, and we're just going to let that run. I could have let it run offline. It would be full by now. But we got that rocking and rolling. And so that comes through and does that. Now, as you can see, we're using less of the stackers and more of the walls and all of that to control it. The cool thing about the stackers, though, is you can control the height of it. So when it's coming through, it looks a lot better. I wonder if it looks like it's sitting on a wall. If I try to put a wall in there. I hate stuff to clip through other stuff, but let's see if it's look like it's sitting on the wall itself. It kind of does. Yeah, it looks like it's sitting on the wall itself. All right, that's cool. That's much better looking. I like that. All right. I'm always like tinkering and fine-tuning and whatnot. What's up, Dovey? Thanks for being here, bro. Thanks for backing me up today. Show some love to my awesome mod in the chat, everybody. We got Dovey hanging out, backing me up today. So we're going to get into some deep Satisfactory today. Now, have you noticed I haven't unlocked everything? Still working away. I get to about tier 4, and then I retool my factory, and I try different things and try different techniques to get things going. So right now, of course, we got those basics going there. Let's go ahead and jump back up to the hub. We got the big boy coming by, doing a flyby. All right, so over here we've got all of our storages from this side. We can see we've got them all kind of planned out of which ones we need for what. And right now we only have 2 of the 3 things going. We need to, 2 of the 3 iron extractors going. We need to get ahead onto 1 more. We need to do a bunch of screws. And so we're going to use this last section over there for screws today. What else are we going to work on? I think we're going to work on our steel probably. Yeah, maybe our work on our wire. We'll work on our steel today. All of our other plates and stuff. We got a lot of fun stuff to retool and get going. So I get to a certain point and then I retool my factory right about tier 4. And I'll go ahead and show you guys where I'm at. Right here at tier 4. So we've unlocked everything up to tier 4. And the next thing we need to do, of course, is put some more stuff into our space elevator. We've already got 1 of the 3 elements already filled up, which is our smart plating. But we need to get to our versatile framework and also to our automated wiring. And that's not too hard. We've unlocked all of that. And we could have had it done already. We can go make it ourselves if we want to. But I like to go and just take my time, not be in any rush, and kind of tool up the factory. So let's get working on them screws. Now we have a whole bunch of transports here that we've added for our hyper tubes. And I've added one right over here, which is real close to where I want to work. Now let's go ahead and take this out for now. And as you can see, we've got one going here, another one going there, and those are going right there. And I'll probably end up readjusting these yet again so that this one is that one and this middle one is that one, because they're all the same. These are all pure nodes. All 3 of these are pure nodes being brought up from down below. Now if we want to go ahead and take a look of down below, that's going to take us up there. We can go ahead and look on the back here. You see which one's going up. We can go ahead and look down below and see where it's all feeding from. Take a quick little peeky peek down there. Right here. Ah, look at that. Turn our sound just a little bit. Here we go. And as you can see, they're all running in line. We've got a bunch of pure nodes. This one over here is for my steel. We'll get to that later. So these three are all three are pure iron nodes. And they're running down the line, forging up some stuff. See, this one's stopped over here. This one's we haven't used yet. And then these two over here are just cranking away, making tons and tons of those iron ingots, right? So you got all the forges on the lower level. And then it takes everything and it feeds it all to this corner. And then from this corner, you can see it's feeding through there. And then it feeds on the outside and feeds to the upper part of the factory. Oh, I just remembered another entrance for right here. Right here. We could have went right here. Ah, all right. And then we're back here too. Woo, right up into here. Boop, there we go. Nice. And that's our other way down right there. So let's go ahead and start to work on our other part here. Now, one of the cool things is, see, we already got this going here. We have a double-sided thing, and I thought of this just at the end of the last time. And you can see we're running all the power. Well, this actually connects the power from both sides. You have 4 from both sides. And since it's already connected on this side, and using one of the ones on this side, we've already got enough power to run all of this. But also, we have enough to run it on the other side if we're smart about it. So we're going to go in and we're going to figure out how much we have. So we have 240 iron coming in, and we want to go ahead and just do some production. Now, by the way, you can also go this way and go into equipment and click all of that. I prefer doing this way. This is just me. That's how I like to do it. I like to put a constructor down, click screws, and go in there and take a look. So we need 10 iron rods per once we're going. Now, if we look at iron rods over here, this is how many iron rods we have going for just one 240 node, right? That's a lot of iron rods. So we're going to do that exact same thing, what we did right here, over there, except we're also going to turn it into screws as well. So we're going to basically do this again. And this is a lot. This is 16 of these. I think it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's 8, and then I have a gap. See, wherever I have a gap, that means I've kind of paired those or grouped those together. So that's a group of 8, and that's a group of 8. That's 16 of those running over there. Now, we got to take a look at our power to see how we're doing. The best way to check your power is to go in and to pull a power line to a power pole like this, and then take a look. Okay, we're about 500 of 900, so we're looking good there. Go ahead and take that out. And so what we're going to do is say, okay, how are we going to feed the iron into here? We'll probably do the same thing we're doing over there. We'll go ahead and feed it. Now, we're going to feed the back of it probably here, because this is where we're going to be running the power. So we're going to be running it forward, kind of in the mirror of this over here. Now, I like to leave at least one area for me to run back and forth in my vehicle. So we're going to make sure we leave an area here by pushing our constructor forward, because we're going to be using a whole bunch of splitters like this. So we need to decide that this is where our wall is going to be. So we're going to go ahead and move that out. We're going to go ahead and grab our wall here. And you're like, whoa, Kismet, how the heck are you doing that, bro? I'm hitting F like I'm going to take it out, and then middle mouse button to grab that particular item. You can't do it while you're in this mode too easily. I find I just get in the habit of hitting F, but you can still do it in here. You can just go middle mouse button while you're in the middle building, and it does work. I don't know why, it's just a habit. I hit F and then I hit it, but you can do it. You can see I can switch to this one, or I can middle mouse button that one. I can switch to that one. I guess I should get out of the habit of having to hit that extra button, but such is the way it goes. All right, there we go. So we'll expand that out a little bit, and we'll say, okay, we're going to bring that through, and we're going to end up right in here, like so. All right, looks good. So we'll bring that across. So we can just go ahead and start by running our line here. Oh, we don't have enough. There's always something we're running out of. And that's why when we tore down our factory, we built our factory, and then we tore the entire thing down again, and then we're rebuilding it. What we do is we put away all of the resources that we were using on the previous one right over here. And so we can run through here and grab what we need. And we have a lot of steel for sure. Maybe a little too much there. All right, let's grab a bunch of that. And let's get that going. In fact, I find that when you're building stuff, you end up with more tier 3 resources than tier 2, or you end up with way more of these here, which are your steel beams, versus your reinforced iron plates. At least that's the way I typically end up playing through, where it's a bit like that. Now, again, we also want to leave some headroom so we can get underneath there. And whatnot. We're going to run it right there. Now, obviously, I love to doing all of that. Lights it up so it makes sense for me. Yeah, I like it when it lights up like that. But you can do it even while you're in the middle of building. Like when you do this, you can just instantly switch. I don't know why. I guess it's just a habit now. I've been trying to get in the habit of using middle mouse button more, and now I'm in such a habit of hitting F. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go in here now. We're going to put our splitter in, but that's not necessarily where exactly we're going to put our splitter, because we're going to work on our constructors first. We always do our constructors first, and that's because they're going to have a certain width. Now, the thing about constructors is they are exactly the width of one of these foundations. So you can kind of see exactly the way it is. Now, one of the problems with this, obviously it's not lined up. And one of the other problems is they're going in 2 different directions. Always need to be watching your directions. Before you put down a whole bunch of those, and I have this problem still, is that sometimes I will put them down in the wrong direction. So watch out for that. But if you go ahead and put it there, they line up really well to the actual plates themselves, or the foundations themselves. So they line up pretty well to that. But I'm out of plates now. I got to run all the way back. Now I have my skates on. My little blades here. I prefer those to the jetpack because I'm always getting a speed boost. If I'm running, if I'm walking, if I'm jumping down, I can jump down further. I can jump up higher. I prefer the skates myself, though sometimes the jetpack is handy. But I go ahead and utilize mostly the skates when I'm playing. For sure, for sure. So we've been just kind of cleaning it up. We're using walls instead of stackers now. We're building in the factory, which normally I do not build it into this degree, where I build in all the walls and I build up this foundations and all that stuff, because this game is still early access. So I typically don't get super into it at that level until it goes released. But we're going to go ahead and have a little extra fun today. Now here's another little problem here too, is finding the alignment of this right here. Because it doesn't show you a green line. I feel like it should show you a green line off of the wall. So it could make it easier for you to line it up. But I just kind of visually line it up there. And then we're going to run this right into there. Okay, over here, this doesn't need to be too fast, because when we go in here and we tell it to do, wrong thing apparently. When we tell it to do iron rods, it only needs to be 15. So that's pretty slow compared to the 240 at which it's going to be coming out. So all we need to do is use the basic level conveyor belt there, and we'll be fine. So, okay, F, and then middle. I think it's because I'm usually out of the building mode when I'm doing that. And again, notice how I turned it back around the other way? It tries to trip you up sometimes, so watch out for that. All right, there we go. Oh, and now I'm out of wire. It's always something. You're like, Kismet, why don't you use your thing? Okay, I'll use my thing. Here we go. I'm a little notorious in not using my thing over here, which is your to-do list. So we've already got 2 of them, I think. So let's say 6 more. And then how many we're going to need on the other side? Let's see. Probably a bunch more on that other side, too. Let's just say 20. And so I need 160 wires. Oh, here we go. Walking back again to get the wire. Now, I could take this stuff and move it forward, but then I'd have to take the time of doing all of that. Just need to get enough stuff to make the thing work here. What did I do with all my wire? There it is right there. All right, 197 ought to do it. Okay, plenty of wire, plenty of reinforced plates. Let's get into it. And I do a lot of walking back and forth, but that's why I left it at this level, so I could just very easily walk over there and grab it. Now, eventually, of course, it'll backlog all that stuff, and it won't be such an issue. Okay, here we go again. Watch the direction before we start. I'm watching the green line to make sure it's lined up. And then I'll do them in groups of 4 in this case. Usually I do them in groups of 2s or 3s, because that's typically how I'm doing my splitters, unless I'm doing them inline. These are called inline runs. Inline runs is when you're just running splitters straight down the line like that. I kind of feel like this is forward a little too much, but that's okay. We'll just let it slide for there. Usually I like to have a little bit of a gap so I can see it. This is a bit of a long, what I call a long gap. That's a long gap there, but that's okay. It's okay if we do whatever we want. Because you got plenty of space, everybody. I feel like everybody's always cramming their stuff together to be super space efficient, but you got plenty of space to do that, to make stuff and whatnot. And I like to have more space so that I'm not running into stuff and whatnot. Now I'm going to actually offset this one by an entire thing here. There we go. And that'll give us another group of 8. Now this is going to play a factor later because we're going to be using all of this for screws here in a bit. So there's, that was 4, that was 5, 6, 7, and that should be number 8. Now let's go double check. You know, that's what you want to do. Double check your work. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 1, 2. Oh, hold on. Must have miscounted. I feel a miscount coming on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, that's why you double check right there. I don't mind making mistakes. That's my thing. Followage. Wow, look at that. 1 year, 1 month. Thanks so much for that massive follow there, Shadud. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out. In fact, how about 1,000 Kids Cats for being awesome? There you go. Now, everybody, remember to go out and do those retweets. It does help the stream, if you don't mind. Follow that second link right there. Click that link. Go over there. Hit that like button. Hit that retweet button. It's a free way to support the stream. If you're not able to hit subscribe, if you're not able to donate or do bits, that's a fantastic way. Also, to host the channel does help support the stream. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, there we go. Now, I love me some Satisfactory. I feel like this game is a 10++. Exceptionally well done and whatnot. And I always get the question, Kismet, what is this game about? It's about whatever you want it to be about. There's like the first level of the game where the first kind of gameplay level, which is you're building factories, right? You're building factories and you're collecting ore with extractors or manually, and then you're building factories, and those factories then produce higher level and higher level and higher level stuff. And of course, you're unlocking better and better items as you go along. But there's also the second level of gameplay, which is making it look beautiful and being very efficient and basically producing your resources at the least cost of resources, of power especially, and of your time, because your time is actually your most valuable thing that you possibly have. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and pick that up, and we're going to make sure these are all going the same direction. Now, I also recommend always doing, like if you're going to do a bunch of these splitters, to do them all at the same time. The reason why is it loves to switch it back to its default mode, which means it turns it back the other way, and it messes you up. Now, what I'm going to do is just basically run the splitters here, and I'm watching the green lines, right? So I'm doing a straight green line there and a green line that way, and it's telling me I'm lined up with my constructor and I'm lined up with the previous splitter. And so I'm just going to rinse and repeat that. Now, when I do the kind of repetitive stuff like this, I'm going to go a bit faster. I hope you don't mind. I typically play at a much faster rate than when I'm on stream. I mean, I play at maximum speed. Sometimes so fast, people are like, what the heck do you just do, Kismet? So I try not to do that on stream without warning people. Because people are like, oh, Kismet, you just did something awesome. What did you just do? I missed it. I have that problem with streams, too. When I'm watching a stream and someone does something awesome and they just go past it like that, I'm like, oh, I missed it. And then it's really rude when I ask them and I say, hey, wow, what did you just do? And they go like, go Google it. I've actually had somebody say that to me before. And I'm like, well, never coming in your stream again. But in my stream, you can always ask me questions. If I go a little fast for you, like, Kismet, I don't know what the heck you're doing. Feel free to ask in the chat. I don't mind at all. Now, what we're going to do along the in line here, the main line, is we're going to go just maximum speed, right? We're just going to do belt threes. Now, we can figure out the math, which is what we typically do. We'll go, you know, we'll go 240, 240, then we'll go 120, 120, and then we'll go 60, 60, 60. Those are the speed of belts, by the way, if you're not familiar with Satisfactory. Those are the speed at which these belts go. And Satisfactory is very much about the math, but it doesn't have to always be about the math. If you've got a level 3 belt here, that's the fastest that ore is going to come in here anyway, is 240. And I find that level 3 belts are the kind of equalizer point where you're getting tons and tons of these level 3 belts. Now, here's the funny thing. This last thing here is redundant. Take that sucker out. You don't even need that one because what you're doing is you're splitting and you're ending up there. Now, let's make it beautiful. You ready? We don't just make stuff just for function, but we also make it for form. So we're going to back up just a little bit here. Little bow house for you guys. And then boom, right there with a beautiful 90-degree turn at the end. Very nice. All right, now we're going to go ahead and get all of these run into here like so. Now you're like, Kismet, how are you going to run your power? Well, guess what? I already ran the power because I ran it on the other side, which means I can use it on this side as well. And I have more connections because the actual power is connected on the other side between nodes. So that helps me a lot as well. Woo! Little big of a jump there. That's my skates kicking in there. And I like to run along. Now you can also run along on the bottom here too and just hop over the thing. Whatever floats your boat, everybody. Me, I like to be up on the top and do it. All right, there we go. Now we look down the line here and we double check that we've got everything going. So the first thing we want to do is just kind of look at the outer edge. Make sure we've got all of these connected because we don't connect one of them because it's all inline. If you miss one, boom, the whole entire thing is going to be very inefficient. Now on the way back, all right, looks like we got them all. Awesome. Now we're going to go ahead and do our power. And again, I already got a power line here, so I can just go ahead and utilize this on from the other side that we did from before. Now, another thing that we haven't done yet is we haven't gone in and told it what we want it to be yet, and that's okay because there's no resources coming to it right now anyway, so it's not that big a deal. There we go. Power line's acting a little funky there. And I feel like that's probably good. We go this one over here. I don't like it to run too long across, just for cosmetic reasons. No other reason other than that. Actually, I could just go this way too. Make that a little bit easier. There we go. And we go forward, forward, forward. And get this one. Okay, we get that one. There we go. And we go through and fine-tune it and make it perfect if we want. But this is really nice since we can connect 4 on both sides. So we can use pre-existing power. We got to make sure that this one and this one have a power line connected to them, and they do. This one's not even in use on this side because this one's a bit more compressed together. And the reason why that one's more compressed together is that one's just making rods, where this one's going to end up making an absolute obscene amount of screws here in a bit. Now, of course, when we're building this stuff, it's also going to be used later on in some higher level stuff as well as we're going to be building. So let's go ahead and run to the front of this, and we're going to put in our mergers. But before we do that, the smart idea is to go through and to tell it what we're making. So we're going to make a bunch of iron rods. That'll just save us later from having to jump over a bunch of stuff or climb up on top of it or in between it and whatnot. We're going to make a crazy ton of iron rods. And what we're doing here is we're massively upscaling everything that we're doing. Now, we're also going to get eventually tier 3 level extractors, and that's going to make this even larger. In fact, it'll double the size of what we currently have, which is going to be pretty crazy. Pretty crazy amount of stuff. All right, we got that done. Now that we've got that going, we need to decide what we want to do next. Well, I would probably suggest making a little bit more space, that's for sure. We're going to need a little bit more space out here, so we're going to go ahead and expand here. Now, this is why I build my bases up high, is because I have lots of space. Now, the particular area I'm in right now, it started me off in a real enclosed area, so I don't have a lot of horizontal space. Horizontal space is what we're doing right now, right? This is just like flat space, I guess is another way of calling it. This is a lot of flat space. Look how wonderful the building is in this game. Isn't it just, it's just so exactly how you would expect it to be. And every other game needs to take note. Because Satisfactory's building is second to none. It is awesome. I love how subtle it is and how great it is to do it. Have you done any multi-floor stuff yet? I'm doing it right now. You talking to me? I'm trying to build a factory which creates heavy mod frames with 3 floors. I'm doing it right now. You can see I'm way up here. I'm way up here. So this is the bottom floor is where I'm extracting the ore. We'll go down there. We'll take a look. You must have missed it. I just gave a little tour just a minute ago, but we'll take a quick tour again. The bottom floor down here is doing all of our forges, or all of our miners, and then do our forges, aka our smelters, smelting all of that. Over there, we've got limestone. Here we have 4 pure iron nodes. That's a pure limestone node over there as well. And then way off to the side over here, which we'll get to eventually, is our copper nodes, another pure copper node over there. Now, as you can see, they're all fed from the bottom level. This is the dirt level. Underneath here is actually the dirt right there. There's the bottom level, and the actual node is right there. So this is the first level of the factory. So all it does is just smelt stuff. That's all it does. It smelts it down into ingots, or in the case of concrete, it'll smelt it down or convert it into concrete. And then it runs itself up here into the second level. Now, the second level is our production level. And that's where we build all of our basics. And again, I've kind of retooled the entire factory right now. But as you can see, it's running in those iron ingots from down below. They run up from down below and then into this conveyor. That conveyor runs all the way over here, and it runs down the line. And you can see it's running down the line, producing a ton of plates for us over here. Right down the line. There we go. Running those plates. Now on this side, it's doing a ton of rods, and you see those rods coming back, but it's actually feeding from the other side. So these both are being fed from the back, coming in forward, and then they're going out from this part right here and running out across the factory. Let's get up here so you guys can take a better little look. There we go. And it's running out across the factory using our conveyors and also using our walls instead of using stackers, instead of all that stuff. When you get into the more advanced building, you want to get away from stackers, though I love stackers. I feel like stackers is the part in which the game really begins. And when you start using your stackers, that's great. But then what you want to do is eventually get to the point where you got stuff running underneath, like you see here. I got this running underneath this level, which is then running out on the next level, and then I can put it next level, etc. Down the line. And we're going to do that pretty much with our screws here. We're going to bring it up, and then we're going to run it on that next level, and then run it over, and then run it back up to the next part over there. But let's get back to our screws over here. And then, of course, the third level up there is my primary area where I do all of my upgrading. So we get up here. And here's our space elevator. And this is where we store all of our stuff, right next to our hub. You notice the purple? Purple means that's a construction area. The yellow means that it's a road. You can see I've got my vehicle on the road there. And the blue means it's a storage area where we're going to store stuff. And you can see we've also got a little bit of green here. And that green right here is going to be our train. It's going to come right through here. So we're going to leave some room for our train. But you can see we've got a massive storage area. And that's so I can literally just go there. Oh, well, we can wait for... Hold on a second. We got to wait for OBS to stop freezing. Let's wait for it. What a great freeze frame. All right, put a 1 in the chat where you can see and hear me, everybody. I saw my entire machine just froze. OBS just froze my entire machine over there. Put a 1 in the chat when you can see and hear me actually animated and not stopped. There you go. I know. It'll come in a second. Let me see in the chat, everybody. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait it out. I can see it's restored on my end. Is it back now? All right. Don't blame me, everybody. That's you know, this is a Kismet stream. You know it's going to go off the rails. That's why people watch my stream. It's constantly going off the rails. It's part of the enjoyment of watching my stream. All right, so back to what we're doing. So we're going, and then we got tons of storages, so we can literally just walk up here, and we got a full box. Now, there's also 3 boxes underneath here full of all of this as well. And what we're doing is we're retooling it all, so it brings it up from down below into this level. So this level is nice and clean, pristine. We can run around. We can run stuff into our space elevator, and we've got one of the 3 elements we need to get to tier 5 and 6. But when I get to tier 4, I unlock everything up to tier 4, and then I slow down. Then I take the time to really go in and tool up everything that we're doing, and basically just kind of ramp it up to the next level, especially when you have pure nodes. You got a bunch of pure nodes. Holy mackerel, you're building massive factories right from the very beginning. But you always got to watch that power consumption, because that's going to come and get you. I need some more concrete. I should have got some wires over there. But guess what? I got a whole box full of it over here. In fact, I got 4 boxes full of it right over here. So let's go ahead and utilize some of this out of here. You know what's going to happen when I take that out? It's going to go ahead and start back up my production. And then that's going to start flowing back in again. See, there we go. And what it's also going to do is going to show me my power consumption too. Let's go look at our power pole here. And let's see what it is when we turn our other one on. All right, so now we're peaking about 600. Always should be watching that power. Always watching that power. Because that's how you win, or that's how you fail at this game. Now, you can't really lose the game, but you can fail tremendously by not watching your power, because you're constantly stopping to fix your power all the time. And I typically like to have 2 lines of power. 1 line, which is my transport, and then 1 line, which is my main factory. And we're going to get into that later. I was going to do that as we went along, but I'll get into that later because we really just need to spec out our entire factory first, and then we'll go back and we'll add a whole separate line for that transport. Because we have plenty of power right now. We're just doing basics. We're doing basic stuff. So we've got that all lined up. We're going to have to readjust that over there, but we're going to need our mergers. So let's go ahead and do our mergers. By the way, if you notice that I'm not using in here, I'm not scrolling down using this, that's because I'm using my hotbar here that I have a bunch of stuff programmed to. You can have up to 10 hotbars now, which is awesome. And so I'm just going to press number 2, and it's going to bring up the merger. So if you're wondering how I get to that, if you're new to the game and whatnot, we're going to get that going. Now, notice I don't have an output over here. That's because this is actually not going to end up here. This is going to end up in the next thing. Now, when I put my merger down, I'm just going to put 1 down for right now. And say I want to merge it all the way down and then eventually end up here and then go forward. I could totally do that if I wanted to. But let's see what the most efficient thing to do is. Instead of putting in a bunch of mergers, what if we just take this and we run it forward into one of these constructors? All right, and then we make screws. So what's the input of iron rods? The input of iron rods is 10. So we need to get 10 iron rods in here. Now, the funny irony is the math does not work out, because iron rod input there is actually 15 is the output of this one, which means when I run it out of this one, it'll be 15 out of here, and this is only taking 10 in there. So I'm going to have 5 extra if I just run it straight. So that's not a good idea. So you want to work with that 5. Now, I could go in and I could create a splitter and then say, okay, coming in at 10, take the 5 and the 5 and recombine it, put it in there, and then run the other one over here and create this whole complex network of stuff. I could do that, but I'm not going to. And that's how I normally do it, by the way. So I could teach people how to do the math and figure out all the complex of the math. But you don't always have to do the math, everybody. You don't always have to do the math. One thing that we need to figure out is what 15 times all of this is. And I already know the answer, but 15 times as many of these we have. We have 16. Now, we got our buddy right here who does a lot of math for us, because why do we need to do it? Now, I can pull up a spreadsheet. I've actually even got a full thing behind the scenes. Watch this. You want to know how much this is going to be worth a follow and a subscribe right here. Look, this is how hardcore I am. Look at this. This is what we call it the mega stream. I chart out stuff for people. That's right. This is Illustrator. Check it out. I even chart stuff out. I made this stuff from scratch. I went in here because I'm a graphic designer. I've been a graphic designer for 30 years, worked for some of the top companies in the world. Actually, the top companies in the world. And I went through and I made, this is how hardcore of a player I am, everybody. This is how hardcore of a gamer. I will go in and chart it out. I even have all the numbers in a spreadsheet if you wanted to have the numbers as well. But there we go. Look, making rods and screws and all of that stuff. Now, normally I like to do what I call center line splitting. That's what this is. Center line splitting, where you put the splitter in the center and then you run it to the sides and you group them, right? That's center line splitting. Inline splitting, like we're doing now, is more of you're just running the stuff along the front of it. Now, one of the things, again, we can do is take that 15, and we've got 16 of these. So we can say, hey, Siri, what's 15 times 16?
15 times 16 is 240.
Oh, well, what do you know? It's our exact input amount. Now, that's pretty easy to figure out, because when you're bringing it in, that's the whole reason why I made so many, is so that I can have an input of 15. And because the input and the output are the same numbers, you're going to get the same number on the output that you're getting on the input. See, that's easy to figure out, right? So it's 240 input, 15 is what you're doing in each one, and then it's going to go 15 out. That's 240 on the output. Easy, right? Easy, easy. So now we know that we're going 240 into screws. So that means that 10 per. Now we're going to end up with way more constructors for the screws than we do for the iron rods, because we're going to have a bunch of extras, right? Because we're going to have an extra 5 each and every constructor, right? So that means it's going to tack on some more constructors at the end. And we're going to have a lot of these babies running. And again, this is going to be pretty awesome. And what we're going to do is we're going to have it run down. Now, we could have it run down whatever direction we want. We could have it run down that way instead of bringing it up like we did before, right? So instead of merging it this way, we can merge it back that way, then bring it back this way, and then run it where we want to go. Where is the closest place to where we want to end up? That's what you need to do. You need to start from the end and work your way backwards. Oh, you got what do you got going there, Get shack ammo. What do we got? Picnic basket. There's a dumpster fire. And Twitch Global, like a thing. I don't know what you're trying to say, but awesome. I like those emotes. All right, so we wanted to go back toward our final destination, which is over here, right? Our final destination for these screws right at this moment are these storages here, so we'll have extra screws. So we want to go in from the other side. This is an output over here because we're going to do a bunch of more construction down here of our more advanced stuff. But right here, we want that to end up in this spot right here. This is our screw spot. And so we're going to have to figure out, hey, how are we going to get that to end up over there? Now, we can also adjust where our screws is and where our inputs are and all of that by adjusting the height of it like we've done over here using our stackers. And we're going to need that to come through up here, right? So we're going to go ahead and say, okay, we're going to bring those screws back from over here and run them through this top one. And we'll go ahead and put this as a 2, right, like that. And we'll say, okay, where do we want our screws to come through? We'll do the first one as our screws. And our screws are going to be coming through very, very fast. Actually, faster than I can actually run a conveyor right now. We want those to go all the way over here and end up right here. Now, if we do that, what's going to happen, right? It's going to clip through all of that. We don't do clipping up in the stream. No, we do not. We do not do no stinking clipping. So we want it to run along the wall edge. And so we can grab these things right here. We're going to middle mouse button it to grab it. And then I can tell it, okay, I want this to be a little bit higher there. Put a little connector there. Then we're going to run back. Again, we're going to grab the first one, the furthest one away. The reason why is because we're going to basically try to bring it down a little bit. And we'll run that right over there. Okay, and that should bring it down, but look at that. It's blocking the one we did, right? Oh, okay, how do we fix that? Well, we fix it the same way we fixed the one down below, is we bring that wall mount down so it's down below the one above. And then we can go ahead and say, okay, let's bring this down. There we go. Hopefully we're not too close. And let's run this one just to double check. You're like, well, Kismet, how can you get up there and look at that? Well, you just create yourself a nice little stacker. There's about 15 different ways. You can use your jetpack. I like to go ahead and just take a look, right? Take a look once I put it in and see. One problem with the skates is that it over jumps when you get to the top every time. So you got to be real Johnny on the spot with that S. There we go. So there we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at that. Perfection. It perfectly misses that. Now, of course, if you had like if you were putting, what you call it in there, if you're putting like modular frames or something in there, that would actually hit that. But in this case, it's going to be screws. And if I don't like it, I can always move it back just a little bit too. I can take this wall mount and say, you know what, let's go ahead and put that wall mount, say, back here just a little bit. Actually, I'd have to put it right there. I can move it back just a little bit more. And then a little bit more steep so the screws don't actually hit the corner because I'm that guy. I'm that guy. Now, the funny irony of this is this actually is not going to go down to there. That doesn't go down to there, so the actual down slope of that is different. And so we're going to run this. Again, remember, we're running level 3 belts right over to there. Okay, that's looking good. Now we've got that in line. Now what we want to do is go ahead and work a bit more with our walls here. Bring this up a little bit, and there we go. The most important thing I can teach you on graphic design or any business or in any job you ever have is to work from the end backwards. If you work from the end, you're going to solve the end problems first. And that means that you don't do the whole entire thing and then realize, oh God, I got to redo the whole entire thing again. Right? You don't want to be working with a multi-million-dollar company or a billion-dollar company and then have a design that's worth millions of dollars. And then when it gets to the printing press, it's wrong. Believe me, you don't want that to happen. I've never had that happen because I learned this very early on from a lot of great mentors of mine to always start at the end and work backwards. What is the type of paper you're going to do? What is the press you're going to run it on? Who is printing it? That kind of thing you need to know first. Not after you've already designed the thing and you got it all done and it's ready and you send it over. You got to know that stuff first because there's a lot of steps that helps you do up front to make sure it comes out right at the end. That's vitally important. And the same thing here in games and when you're working in Satisfactory. It's very important to think of the end first and then work from there. Right? So here we're going to go ahead and work a bit from the end and we're going to do this. Now we're going to come back and retool this part right here to make sure that it goes in there and whatnot. And we might actually have to readjust that in the long run too because we're going to have so many screws that we are definitely not going to be able to run them until we get into the higher tiers. But we'll have the capacity and we'll have it already pre-set up and ready to rock. So there we go. So that's what we start with at the end. So we want this to end up going here across all of this and end up right over here where we're running this one, right up here like that. And then we want to run that one across to here like this. And basically what we've already got set up over here, right? We want to run it all the way up there and then into those two, and those two will run into the box. And so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and raise this up a little bit because we want to get that up like that. And this is just like a visual indicator that's telling me, reminding me how I want to end up, right? What I want to happen when it's done running through all these screws here and getting over here. So let's go ahead and expand this. By the way, that's why I expanded this lower part here, is so I can expand this wall over. Come on, you. There we go. Getting it to go the direction you want it to go is always the toughest part. So this is going to come back this way, and then we're going to go up, and then up again, and then up again. So somewhere right there. Right? So that'll be our in part. Now I could fill in the rest of those and whatnot. I suggest not to fill all that stuff in. Don't fill that in until you're absolutely sure that that's how it's going to be. Right? Because otherwise you're just going to be taking that out, putting it in, taking it out, putting it out. I only add stuff in when I'm pretty sure that's rock solid. We're going to go with that. That's pretty much how I am. So in this case, we're going to get back to our mergers now. And we're, instead of doing all the math where we could, do the splitter and do that. Hey, what's up, Alex? Thanks for being here, bro. And thanks for all those ones, everybody. Thanks for having my back. I'm going to give you 1,000 Kids Caps so you can have a better chance of winning all the epic giveaways here in the stream. Now, if you're new to my stream, everybody, if you're coming in from the homepage or wherever you're coming from, I do get featured quite often here on Twitch. I do appreciate it big time. My name's Kismet. They call me the Wasteland Tycoon. I play a lot of building games, RPGs, all that stuff. Do you know that I'm a 50-year-old, partially disabled partner streamer? I'm one of 40,000 of 5 million people here on Twitch to be partnered, and I consider that a huge honor as well. A lot of resilience, a lot of love from all of you guys, and a bunch of love from Twitch as well, who do apparently keep putting me on the recommend tab. I appreciate it big time, and occasionally on the homepage too, so I appreciate that as well. So thanks for coming in. Thanks for the follow as well, Alex, and thanks to a whole bunch of other people, Xbox Gamer and whatnot, for your follows, for dropping the Dragon Hammer, crushing the follow button, becoming part of the Wasteland Tycoons, making my dragon dance. There he is. That's my buddy Norbert. He comes in and dances from time to time. He loves to dance. So we have a lot of fun up in here playing a lot of different games. Now, I'm probably most known for Fallout. I have played the entire Fallout series. I'm actually sponsored by Bethesda themselves and Bethesda Gear. So I do give away a lot of loot right here in the stream. So make sure to be hitting that follow button, hanging out here in the chat. I have an awesome community as well. My whole goal here on the stream is not to make money. I'm not going to be the biggest streamer in the world. I have no illusions. I have a realistic expectations of where I'm going to go here on Twitch. But for me, This is about staying alive. I became disabled about 6 years ago now, and I had to just step down from my epic job at Apple. I've been a graphic designer for 30 years. And so I had to find something else to do because my doctors basically told me to lay down and die. I went to 11 different doctors. It cost me tens of thousands of dollars, my entire retirement. Again, I'm 50 years old, so I don't have any retirement. Pretty scary. But you know what? That's life. You got to just roll the dice. I'm not alone in that, that's for sure. And I had spent all my wife's retirement as well trying to stay alive. And so I learned about my medical conditions, which is sleep apnea and vertigo, did CPAP, tried all of those things and whatnot. And the number one thing that saved me was my doctor that came to me and said, Kismet, you're probably going to have to live with this for the rest of your life. So then I have a choice, lay down and die or get up and live. So I chose the second one. And I got up, started taking better care of myself. I lost 50 pounds because I started reducing junk food. I started working out. I started taking better care of myself. Helps a lot with your sleep. If you have trouble sleeping, losing that weight does help a lot. Not easy. I'm not here to sell you, exercise equipment. So I'm not going to lie to you and tell you how easy it is to get into shape. It is not easy. The hardest thing about getting in shape is willpower. It's not sitting there and eating that cake and that 15 pieces of popcorn, 15 pieces of pizza and whatnot. That's the hardest thing, is making the good choices. Like today, I made good choices. I had a granola bar and I had some water because I'm still trying to lose a little bit of weight. Because you know what happens when you grow up? You grow up and then you start to grow out. And that's everybody. That's not just certain peeps, right? That's everybody has that problem. And it's an everybody problem that is not an easy solution. And all the exercise people are pretty disingenuous when they say it's so easy. It's not. It's not easy. It's not anything to do with anything other than your mental willpower to go in and say, look, I've got to do that. Now, some people have physical ailments like me that makes it difficult for me to, you ever try to work out while you're dizzy? It's incredibly hard because I have a constant vertigo. It never goes away. Right now, dizzy. I'll be dizzy every day of my life for the rest of my life. That'll just be the way it is. Unless they have some miracle Star Trek cure where they come in and and do the little Kismet, you're all better now. But that's life, everybody. That's how it goes for a lot of people in life. And I'm partially disabled. I'm not fully disabled. And you can't see my disability. So it's even harder to explain to people why that's a troublesome thing. Like when I'm going up and down stairs, I can typically be very scared that I'm going to fall or injure myself. By the way, everybody, you don't need the first one. The first one, when you're merging, you don't need the first one. We'll take that one out and put it right there. There we go. Because otherwise, you're just putting it and then running it anyway. So you might as well just do that. But hey, that's not beautiful. Hold on. We got to make it beautiful. Come on, let's do it. Now we're going to run it. No, we're going to apparently run it from the wrong thing. We're going to run it from there, line it up, and then move it back by 2. There we go. And then we're going to make a nice, beautiful 90. Look at that. Ooh, she's such a beauty. Now I'm going to go ahead and run that out of there. You saw just using my lowest level belt and whatnot. So if you do enjoy a positive stream, you want a little moment of joy in your day, feel free to go ahead and hit that follow button. If you really enjoy the stream, you laugh, you cried, you learned something new today, feel free to hit that subscribe button or drop that Twitch Prime on it. Know that every penny goes back in the stream. I have a wonderful wife I've been with for 27 years who said, you know what? Go do your crazy streaming thing. And so here I am. 5 years later, been streaming for 5 years. It's been my 50th birthday on June 23rd, as well as with my 5-year anniversary here on Twitch and 3-year anniversary as a Twitch partner as well. And I do a lot of giveaways, and a lot of companies send me all sorts of cool stuff. And you know what I do with it? I just give it to you guys. Because, hey, I'm older. I don't need a lot of stuff. I don't need a lot of fancy stuff. I've had a lot of fancy stuff and made lots of money in my day. But if you're not enough without all that fancy stuff, you're not going to be enough with it. You still got to live. You still got to live. And that's case in point of all the people who are miserable, even though they're millionaires. Because you know what they did? They gave up all of that stuff that makes life great for that money. All right? They gave it all up because everything comes at a cost. The bill always comes due in everything that you do. So for me, I do this just for the keeping me alive, number one. And number 2, to bring little moments of joy in people's day. And I'm just chatting while I'm doing the basic stuff here. I'm just adding mergers, and we're merging it down the line here. We need to make sure that we've got it all going in the right direction. We do. We can see that this is an output because it's got the green arrow, and this is an input because it's got the 3 yellow lines. And there we go. So we got that all merged together, ready to rock and roll. We got all the power going, so we're making a whole nother line of rods. So now that's going to come down, and it's going to turn around. It's going to go right back and start to feed all of our screws. Now, the thing is we have to reverse engineer how many screws that we're going to be producing. Now, if we go in and we do the simple math, and which is basically just tens, right? We can get it going. How to donate? There's a button to donate down below, but know that it's never required. If you can't afford it, if you're having a tough time in life right now, feel free to just come in and relax and take it easy. I'm not entitled. I feel like sometimes people here and other places get entitled and they feel like you owe them. I never feel that way. I always appreciate every single person who comes in my stream, all the people who hit the follow button, all the people who hang out in here as well. So how does come not play New World? Didn't you like it? Oh my gosh. Example 5, I love New World. In fact, I love New World so much that my guild has been sleeping. They've been sleeping right now. Now, I'm the leader and founder of one of the longest running gaming guilds, Kismet Ring of Destiny, Kismet BP, and the Teamwork Tycoons. We have had a few names along the way, but the Kismet BP is probably the longest running name. It's 17 years together, 800 members, and I have called them all up. I've called up every single one. I said, we're playing New World Spring of 2021. Go grab it up and play through the preview right now. And after we're done playing some Satisfactory here about 12 noon or so, we're going to play some New World. We played some yesterday. We played some the day before and the day before that. I can't remember. We even did a bonus stream on Saturday during the time in which I don't even stream. We did a bonus stream Saturday morning. We played a bunch of it as well. Today, we're going to do some New World mapping. Now, again, this is why you're in the mega stream. We take it to a whole nother level, right? We take it to a whole nother level. Kismet's already on top of it. Look, see how I chart stuff up in Satisfactory? Guess what? I already got the map ready. We're going to do some Kismet cartography or Kistography, where we go in and we mark all the locations of all of the resources as we go along. We're going to have a lot of fun doing that later. We're going to get into that big time. So not only do I going to be playing it myself, I actually got a free code for it. I got a free code for New World, and I went and bought it anyway, because that's how I am when I think someone's doing a great job. I tell them how awesome they are with my dollar bills, because that's the ultimate way of telling a game company you're doing a good job or you suck, right? If you suck, don't buy that game. You'll never see it here. I'll never advertise it for any amount of money if the game is terrible. Never. If I don't like it, or if I don't think you guys will be into it, you'll never see it here, and you never do. But I do get opportunities quite often for sponsorships and stuff like that. I turn most of them down. But if there's something that's really nice that I think is cool, something that, like space games or things that I'm into or whatnot, or things that you guys might like, that's only time I do it. Or if like Mountain Dew sends me a bunch of Mountain Dew, I'll be like, hey, I like Mountain Dew. My wife likes Mountain Dew. Hey, you know who else likes Mountain Dew? You guys like Mountain Dew. And I just sent out I literally got cases of Mountain Dew that I just sent out to people. I just like, here you go, free Mountain Dew that they sent me. Hey, well, I just kind of pass the love on to my community. That's what I'm all about. There we go. You have slight problems as well. Oh, I build software like smart TVs. Cool. Oh, that sounds like a fun job. Yeah, I was a senior tech at Apple for many, many years. And also did graphic design for many years. Neon coming in. Neon Xeon with a massive 22 months of sub love. That's a lot of love, everybody. I want to see a lot of love right back again. Let's throw those hearts in the chat. If you're new to the channel, this is how we do. When someone hits that subscribe button, somebody hits that follow button, I want you guys to throw a bunch of hearts in there, whether you're using the global emotes, using Kismet emotes, another streamer's emotes. I don't care whose emotes you use, as long as you show that love in the chat. For the people who do keep this streamer going. I put every single penny right back in the stream, and some of my pennies as well, to do awesome things like take my mods to TwitchCon and things like that, that I've been doing for years and years, and give away thousands of free candy bars. You know how they say there's no free dessert? Well, guess what? Not in Kismet stream. Guess what? I went to TwitchCon for the last 2 TwitchCons, and I gave away 1,000 free desserts both times from my awesome sponsor, BJ's Restaurant and Brew House. There is such thing as a free dessert, but only from Kismet. And I went out and I would stand, people would be standing in line, right? They'd be like, it sucks standing in line, right? You're in this big long line at TwitchCon. You're waiting to go. Now, if you're a partner, actually, you get to into the partner line, you get to get through, or, you get to go through the faster line, which is nice. But I remember standing in line before I was partner at the first TwitchCon. It was like massive line, like an hour and a half line. So while people are in the line, I'll just walk up to people randomly and I'll say, hey, would you like a free dessert? Here you go. Bam, free dessert. Like, oh, awesome. Thanks, man. And I go, hey, you got a special someone? And if they say yes, I'll say, look, here's one for your special someone. And they said no, then I'll say, here, go find someone special and go take them out for dinner on me and take them out for free dessert on me. And then you take 2 free desserts and they go over there to get free desserts. You never know. Might have been that special someone that they find and that they with for the rest of their time as well. Now, I've been with my wife for 27 years. So, and the key to a long marriage, everybody, is putting that person number one above all things. Above all things, you're not in competition with each other. You are a team. Your job is to solve problems together. And those problems could be money problems. They could be kid problems. They could be annoying neighbor problems. They could be the dog bit you. There could be a lot of those problems. But your job is to solve those problems together. Me and my wife are great problem solvers. Every time the kids break our doors, every time the dog chews something up, so every time the car breaks or whatever, we go right to it. Problem solving, let's go, let's get it done, let's work together to make it happen. And we've been doing that for 27 years. I feel like that works pretty great. Pretty great. But again, it's your life. They're your life choices. Make them great. I like your channel. I'll be back. I appreciate your positivity. Well, thank you, Bright Bottle Gamer. Thanks for coming in, bro. Appreciate it. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to inspire people, to show people some love. I tell it to you straight, though. I'm old. I'm 50 years old. I answer to no one. I'm not here to try to sell you stuff. I'm not here to try to BS you, misinterpret the truth and whatnot. I just tell it to you straight. That's how I am. I don't answer to nobody because you know what? This could be my last day. I'm not kidding. Every night I go to sleep, I may not wake up tomorrow. That's sleep apnea for you, everybody. I stop breathing in my sleep. So it erases all of that stuff that you're worried about in life, money and success and all of that things. And I've had all of those things. And I can tell you, they're nice and nice not to have to worry about your mortgage or worry about your payment or whatnot of this, that, and the other thing. But that shouldn't become your all everything. If it becomes your all everything, and I was pretty much consumed by it when I was young. All I want was money, and I wanted to do graphic design. That was it. That was me as a 20-year-old man. I didn't care about anybody, didn't care about anything else. That's all I did all day, made lots of money, and did graphic design all day. That's all I ever wanted to do. And then you meet that special someone, you start seeing life from a little bit different perspective, and you start growing out of that youthful stuff where you just think about yourself all the time. Spoiler alert, everybody, it's not all about you. A little life spoiler alert for later in your life, maybe. It's not all about you. There's a few other people on this planet, too, that you might want to care about. I don't know. It's up to you. It's your choices. But still, I try to think about other people as well and try to bring up a little bit of joy into their day because we're in some tough times right now. So hopefully I can, by playing some games, talking to you guys straight, we can have a little bit of fun today and get into it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and run this. We're going to run it back the other way. So, we're going to do our simple math. Now, our simple math is, here on this, is we're going to run this down. It's going to be 240 rods are going to be running. Now, over here, we can do simple math by taking 240 and looking at the input of this, which is 10. So that means we're going to have 10 per. We're going to have 240. How many is that? That's 24 of those. That's 24 rods that we could do. Right, now that's a little excessive, and that's why we're going to do it. It's a bit excessive, and we're definitely going to do it just because it is. Let's go, everybody. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is going to be 6 right there. Oh, out of wires. We got to go get some wire. Hold on. Now, we may not have enough wire. We may have to go and make some wire because our whole wire production is off. And I threw all my wire and all my stuff away because I was moving my stuff around. And when you're moving your stuff around, you don't want to have the cumbersomeness of having all of those extra resources that you can do because you can always remake it. Uh-oh. We might have to take a moment, everybody. We might have to take a moment and make some more wire. Now, the funny thing is I had 3 boxes full of wire that I threw away. I knew that was going to happen eventually. So we're going to need some serious wire. Now, how do we make wire? Well, it just happens to be way over here that I am doing a bunch of production of copper, and I've already got it running. You can see it's running to here. It's actually off right now because it is filled up. But one of the things we can do, just so we can get this going, is we can just take a conveyor there, and we'll go ahead and run this right out of there, or take a storage and just run that right in there, and that's going to start back up all of that production. Go here, so we can grab that, and we can go ahead and bring our crafting bench out, and we can grab those copper ingots and just go in and make the particular thing that we need, right? So we go in, we can make some cable right over here. We actually already have some wire. We could have just made it from the wire. But you get the idea. So we can just grab some out of there and do that. Or I can make a production, or I can make a giant production line of it. But I definitely need lots of cable when you're doing lots of conveyors. And this cable doesn't take very long to do. You can see I do it right there. And in fact, I don't even need to do it over here. I can make another one over there. I can put these builders wherever I want, or the crafting bench wherever I want. And they've also made it, if you haven't played the game in a while, we can move the MAM around now. And that's pretty cool. You can put it wherever you are, wherever you're researching. You can even put it right by, like say you go find a hard drive, you can put it down right there where you found the hard drive and put it in there and let it go, which is pretty fun. All right, so here we are. We need to make 24 of these. So let's make sure we have enough. So we're going to go in here and we're going to do a to-do list of 24 of these things right here. Oh boy, we do not have anywhere close to enough cable. All right, so we're going to go again in here, crafting bench, right here where we're working, down this lower side, and we're going to need a whole lot of this cable. Now, in the beginning, you do a lot of this where you're just kind of manually making it, and then later you will go ahead and have it automatically make it. I'm obviously going to be working on this later today. After we get our screws going, we'll be working on our wire, our cable, and also our copper sheets. And those will all be running up into our upper area. Now, are we going to get all of that done today? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, Raz, what's up? Wait, I thought you had a birthday. I did on June 23rd. That was my birthday. Yep, last couple months ago. Look at all that love for you guys in the chat. Wow, blowing it up. I'm a washed up YouTuber joining Twitch. Well, welcome. I appreciate you coming in. I'll check out YouTube channel. Let me know what it is. Feel free to go on my Discord, by the way, everybody. Check it out over there. I did a huge revamp of it. It is awesome now. Whole next level on Discord. Feel free to let me know. I'll check it out. Go over there and whisper me what it is. I'll take a look. I do somewhat stuff on YouTube. I feel like YouTube just has been crushing the souls of their creators over there. They made it so incredibly cumbersome for me to post my videos, because I was posting every single stream over there as well. After 24 hours, I would post it, because I'm as a partner, I can't post it over there until 24 hours later. But I would post it over there because a lot of people watch my YouTube channel who missed the stream. They'll go back and watch a stream that I did and try to figure out how I did certain things. So I stopped uploading. It was so cumbersome. And I sent it to the top person over there at YouTube and also at Google and said, whoever come up with this idea is not a production person. I've been a production person for 30 years. You don't add steps. You take away steps. That's not what you do in production. It costs you more money and more time when you're adding steps to your production line. And they actually went and fixed it. They actually went and fixed it and changed it all around, so it's actually really streamlined now based on some of my suggestions. I'm sure a lot of other people's suggestions too. I'm sure I'm not the only one. But they actually went and fixed it. And I give credit where credit is due. I always do. I also will be all over them if they screw up like they did. But if they do go in and fix it, thank you to YouTube and everybody over there who worked very hard to fix that, because that made it so I didn't want to do it. Now, though, that it took them so long to fix it, I literally have like 300 videos to upload. Not kidding. That's not an exaggeration. Literally 300 videos, because the last time I uploaded was like 800, and I'm now getting into the 1,000 plus. So maybe 250 videos, somewhere in there. A lot of videos to upload and then queue and then let run out. But I don't know. I might be inspired one day to do it. Not today, that's for sure. I got so much stuff to do. I'm running behind on my other stuff. My normal stuff I got to do, like my mod calendar and all of that stuff. I got to get in and get that done today. Right in the middle of some great kids talk. There you go, Jay's Header. Thanks for coming in. Love those moments on stream. Well, that's kind of the mixture of my stream, right? When you're a streamer, you want to figure out what your thing is. My thing is I love to talk with peeps. I should be holding down the button while I'm doing it. I love to, I've already got it. Already got enough. I love to chat with peeps as well as play games. I feel like if you just play a game, well, anybody can do that. Anybody can just sit there and play a game. But what makes you uniquely you? In my case, I like to talk about, real life stuff, inspire people a bit based on my story, and then hear inspiring stories from other people as well. That's always a good one. How they, had a tough time and how they got over it and how they went on. You never know. See, the thing that happens in life is people think they know everything at some point. I'm 50 years old. I don't know jack squat. I know a lot about some things, and I know nothing about a whole bunch of other stuff. And I always keep that in mind, and I always admit when I don't know. When you don't know something, you're never going to know if you don't admit that you don't know. It's like an ego thing, right? You get to a certain age and you're like, oh God, well, I don't want anybody to think I'm dumb or that I don't know. Well, hey, guess what? You're not going to know if you do that, right? And I like to learn when I'm playing a game. I like to learn by doing as opposed to just going and looking it up, because I have memory problems. So it makes it easier for me if I do the thing and I learn it in the moment. I go, oh, that's how you do that thing. And then that sticks a little bit better in here for me. That's how I like to learn. And you'll see me ask people in the chat, please don't, no spoilers, no backseat gaming, none of that stuff. Don't say, hey, Kismet, just go do that, and boom, the whole entire thing is done. Because there's also like a whole adventure between when you start a game and then when you discover that thing, right? There's a whole part in between. Right? Like if I'm going in and trying to figure out where something is and trying to figure out how something works, well, I'm going to have to go and try to wander around and try to figure it out. And in that wandering, I'm going to figure a whole bunch of other things out too. I feel like that part of gaming is very underrated, and people don't realize that's an important part of gaming as well. Okay, how many we do there? We did 8. I'm doing these in groups of 8 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know what? Let's do it in groups of 10, since we've got to do 24. Let's do it in groups of 10. So let's go back and do it again. All right. You got to count right. Otherwise, all the numbers are going to come out wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's 8. Okay. 8 there. Well, let's do these in 10. 9, and that's going to be 10. All right. Then we'll put a gap. I like to put a little bit of a gap so it makes it easy for me to come back and figure out what I'm doing. 2, and also get by them. 3, 4, 5, 'We're getting close to Big Boy coming by. He's doing a drive-by. Now, we want to be just at the point in which that guy can get by but not run into our stuff. Oh, God, I forgot where I was. If you forget, don't forget, don't worry, go back and recount. It's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more. I thought it was at 9, but just good to double check. And there's number 10. We got to see that dude drive by again to make sure we're not too far out. So there is 20 right there. Now, I would actually not do it like this. I would actually not do it like all of that. And the reason why is because it's a little too long. Lengthwise, right? Though I have plenty of space. We're going to wait for dude to come by again. I have plenty of space. I would actually run it and split it up at the front side. And then do 10 and 10 or 12 and 12 because it's going to be 24. I would do 12 and 12 because it's a long way to walk to get from one side to the other. It's a long way to run that thing where you could just put them in front of each other, right? And you could have them double splitting and running and whatnot. But there's going to be a lot of logistics of doing that too. So if I take out this first one and say I run this all the way down this way, and then, or actually it's going to end up that way, and then run it all the way back and then all the way back again, there's going to be a lot of logistics with that as well. Running inline is nice because it's really just one line. You don't have all this other logistics you have to do. So normally I would go and I would double split them like that. But here we're just going to do a one long inline unless that guy runs into the corner. If he runs in the corner, and I feel like I'll probably end up doing double row anyway. Because this is all going to come down here. And then right here, this is going to turn around and go back and then basically feed it back into there. Now, I could go and say just split it right here and have it do that. I feel like merging it all first so it gets up to that 240 speed and then go back this way is probably a better option, because then your math is going to work out. It's not going to slow it down at some point early on in the thing. If you go and start to say run it across at the beginning, and then you're running it and splitting it at the very beginning, what's going to happen is it's going to start to slow at the beginning, because you're going to all of a sudden have too much coming into the first one, and then it's going to overflow. It's going to overflow. But that's certainly a way you could do it. You could have it run straight out and into a splitter, and then into that splitter and so forth. But then you're going to have all sorts of logistic problems. So it's basically easier to run it in a merger and then loop it back and merge it back the other way. So let's see if dude's coming back here. We're going to wait around for him. Where's he at? Where you at, big boy? It's going to take him a while, apparently. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do these in double line. I feel like a double line is going to be a smarter idea. That's why I have a gap, see, right there. So I can tell which ones are the ones at the end. And I'm going to hold down Control, and easy peasy, take them right out. Okay, so we're going to do 12 instead of 10. So that'll equal 24. So there's 12 there. Nice. And then we're going to go ahead and expand it this way, making it easier for us to switch back and run it down the road. Now, this is going to switch back here. It's going to make it super easy because we're splitting on this side, right? We're splitting on this side as opposed to splitting it on the other side. So we're going to run it all the way down here. We need to put the one at the end back as well. There we go. So we know we got our 12. There we go. So basically, it's going to go this way, straight in like that. And so it's going to end up where it's feeding over there, and it's going toward the direction in which we want to end up. And so that's going to make it much easier. So it's going to go all the way to here, then switch back, run this way, head back toward this, and then split, and then run to another one over here, which is going to be pretty easy to do. Where's our big boy? You coming by yet? Did I miss him? I don't even know how long it takes for him to fly around. Oh, there he is down there. I see him. See him down there? Flying right over the top of our other production. Here he comes. All right, big boy. Come over here. We want to see if you hit our stuff. I always make room for this guy. He'll actually, I think, just glitch through your stuff, but I don't like to do that. Here he comes. Now, you can't actually get on top of that, by the way. So watch out he doesn't accidentally pick you up and take you off. Uh-oh! That's exactly what happened. Yikes! Yeah, I got on top of there. I almost took off. All right, so no. This is not the way the Kismet rolls. Kismet, don't do no clip it. That's gone. Bye-bye. Oh, well, maybe we get away with this corner here. Let's get away with this corner and this one here. All right, so we don't do no stinking clip it. We don't want our little dude to clip through there. So we're going to call that a red zone. Like that. So as you saw there, he actually started to pick me up and started to take me with him. I could fly around the whole thing if I wanted to. But we're going to go ahead and make that room. And that's another reason why I didn't want to run that all the way down there. I'm just kind of leading you guys down the road. You get the idea. Now, I try to think out my streams of what I'm doing in the stream for the day. And, you know, some points that we're going to work on and whatnot. I feel like it always makes the stream just a little bit better when you put a little extra effort into it. Ahead of time, or a lot of effort. In my case, I put a lot of effort into my streams for sure. And I feel like it just flows a little bit better as well. If you put some pre-thought into your stream. Doesn't have to be, you know, have to make a script and all of that stuff. Unless you want to, unless you're playing a character or something. Me, I just play me. That's who I am. I don't play a character here on stream. This is the person you'll meet at TwitchCon. I am just me. There we go. Well, there you go. You play Fall Guys. Well, awesome. I love to watch people play Fall Guys. It's a pretty fun game. I know that's my type of game. I would definitely play it if I had the time. But right now I'm playing a whole bunch of other games. And I don't just play games because they're popular. I see a lot of, you know, the big streamers typically do that. Whatever the most popular thing is in the moment, they do that. You know who doesn't do that? of the big streamers, who I consider to be a big streamer, Colt Carnage. He plays whatever the heck he feels like playing. Same thing with Summit. I love them for that. That's how I am. I play whatever the heck I feel like playing. If I feel like playing Satisfactory, I'm playing it because I feel like playing it. No other reason. I don't go play League of Legends and I don't go play all those big games just so I can get views and all that stuff. I feel like that's always a big mistake unless you really like playing the game. If you like playing the game, then hey, more power to you. Go play. It's going to be fun. Got to be a fun time. Okay, so we're going to actually put these the other way. Let's put these the other way. So they're facing inward, and that's going to look cool. That's more for looking cool than anything else. And this is going to come back, and this is all going to merge this way. So let's make sure we put our merger in so we can go ahead and space that out a bit. And let's go 1 right there. There we go. That's going to be nice. That's going to come out of there into there. And then this one's going to do the same thing. And that's going to end up over here. And we can probably put that pretty close. I mean, those we could put just like that because those are actually 2 separate lines. But I don't like doing that because I like to have a little space so I can walk in between them. So I'm actually going to nudge this a bit over that way. And that's going to give us a little bit of room. Now, here's the cool thing. Since we've already done this side, the other side's going to be pretty easy because it's all going to line up on the thing we already did. We just need to make sure it's going the right direction. So it's already going to line up. We just put the first one down, and then all the rest of these are going to be lining up. And I'm actually going to look at the green line every single time to make sure that both our green lines are together. And so I'm not even going to count these. I'm just going to keep going for a while. And then I'll turn around and see if I'm close to where the other ones are. So I already counted it once. I don't need to count it twice. And this is another advantage of doing multiple rows, is that you don't have to count it 24 times. That was a pretty good guess. You don't have to count it 24 times. You count it 12 times, and then you do 12 more, and guess what? You got 24. Pretty nice. There we go. And these ones I moved back a little bit more there. So I feel like I'm going to move just to give myself a little bit more space and it to be even on both sides. It doesn't have to be symmetrical, by the way. I feel like everybody gets way too hung up on symmetry. Though symmetry is nice. It's beautiful. I feel like people get way too hung up on the symmetry and not about the beauty of what you can do, right? That's my thing. I like to make it both beautiful and functional in the long run. All right, so this is a merger. A merger. Merger. These are all mergers because they're coming out of here, and this will be our screw line. Our exit screw line. And I'm looking at both green lines. Again, I'm going to speed up a little bit just to put these in. This is just doing the same thing over and over again. That one, I think I clicked right at the wrong moment. Oh, here comes Big Boy. Big Boy is clear. There we go. Very nice. We got that going. We better make sure that one's going the right direction. Yes, it is. Okay. And then over here, we're going to have mergers. Same thing. Need to make sure it's going in the right direction. This one actually is going in the wrong direction. I could see it right there. The second I clicked on it, that it was going the wrong way because I reset it and moved it, and then it tried to trip me up. I'm watching you, Gabe, trying to trip me up. There we go. Just one of these go in the wrong direction, and bada bing, bada boom, you're in trouble. And it happens. It's going to happen to you for sure. You're going to be like, hey, why is my factory not running? And that's because you've clicked it incorrectly. You got it going the wrong direction. Something's up. That is for sure. These are a little tricky here because there's multiple things it's trying to line up to behind me. This is a lot of screws, everybody. This is an insane amount of screws. All right, there we go. And all the same stuff, right? We just go ahead and run this out like this. Now, actually, this is running this way, so this one's yet another one that is redundant. Make that nice 90. Same thing over here. This is going to be redundant. So let's take this out, line that up, back by 2, click that, nice 90. There we go, and that's good. Now we're going to go along and we're going to make sure to turn all these on to what we want them to be before we add all the conveyors, because otherwise we got to jump over all the conveyors and climb up on top and do all of that. I can do it from the back side too. But right about now, I try to think and try to remember. It doesn't happen every time, but I try to remember to set these to what I want them to be. Now, the funny thing is all of these screws that I'm producing is going to be way more than any of the conveyors than I can do. But this is more long-term stuff we're doing right here. And we're going to need a lot of these screws eventually. But in the short term, it's going to be way too much. How do I know? Because we have 24 of these, and it's going to output 40. So let's just ask Suri how much that is. Hey, Suri, what's 24 times 40?
24 times 40 is 960.
960. The output of this is going to be. It's going to be insane. That's a lot of screws. And you're like, Kismet, you don't need that many screws. Well, not right this moment. But eventually, you will actually need a lot of screws. You will definitely need a lot of that. And so we're just going to set it up for now. And we're going to only utilize a certain part of this. But we're just going to set it up to be utilized in the long run. So let's go along and put our slower conveyors in along here into the mergers. I like to go along like that. You can do it this way too. Hop every now and again. Really, however you like to put it in. There's a lot of fun ways of doing it. These are all going to be my slowest conveyors. It's only going to come out at 45, and this conveyor runs at 60. All right, very nice. We've got all of that looking good. Looking good. Now, you notice I left a little bit of room here. I could also, by the way, put a move this forward and put a wall here and whatnot. I just want to leave a little bit of a space for our mergers in the back because we're going to run, our splitters in the back here, and then splitters also in the back of over here. So again, we're going to bring this back from over there, run it over here, and now we need a bunch of splitters along this, and it's going to be going in that direction as well, because this is going this way, and then that's going to come back and go in that direction. This is then going to also go in that direction, by the way. So these are both going in the same direction, both the splitters and the mergers. And it doesn't really matter which direction your splitter is and which merger is in the long run. In the short term, it's going to get going. Take it easy, Alex. In the short term, it doesn't. That was a Kismet moment. Yeah, you like that? In the short term, it doesn't matter. In the longer term, it doesn't matter. But in the short term, it does, because it's gonna start up that particular one in order. Because if I'm running it in and splitting this one, that one's going to start up first, and then it's going to start this one and that one as it gets overflowed and run through the entire thing. That's the only thing that matters on that, and it's not that big of a deal in the long run anyway. So let's input there, and then run all of our splitters down the back here. And again, a lot of this stuff sometimes is repetition. But again, we're going to need all of this stuff in the long run. Important to know whether you're doing a splitter or a merger, that's for sure. Okay. And let's go ahead and put all these in. Okay, going to speed up a little bit. Hope you don't mind. All right, then we're going to run our 240s along here. Again, you don't have to do the math. Just keep running 240s along here. You don't have to do, 240, then 120, then 60s at the end. Forget about it. Forget about it. Too much math to make your brain hurt. Just run it at maximum speed. Makes it easy. Also great for upgrades later on when you do actually upgrade even faster. Great for upgrades then too. This one at the end is redundant. Take that one out. I hate redundancy if it's unnecessary. Sometimes I'll start from the back that way, and sometimes I'll start that way. Doesn't really matter. It's whatever you like. All right, there's all of our splitters. Let's go ahead and go down to this side and bring our item around here. And this is our output here. Now again, we could raise this up and all of that, but we're just going to do a nice little 90 turn there. And then another nice little 90 right down the middle there. There we go. Very nice. And then we're going to split another one right here. So this actually is going to be running at a slower speed, because it's going to be running basically 120 this one and 120 that one over there, because it's 12, it's 10 per. 12 times 10 is 120. You get the idea. All right, splitter here. Let's say right there. Seems good to me. So again, we're going to bring it up at 240 speed right there. And then we're just going to run that 240 and then run this 240, even though now it's only 120. But that's okay. That's okay. Now again, you don't have to put it on the ground level. You can lift it up off the ground. Let's say right there. I prefer it to be up off the ground and whatnot. I do a lot of conveyor lifting typically. But in this case, not going to worry about it. No biggie. I'm not going to be over here all that much. Anyway, this is just going to be like a set it and forget it kind of thing. For sure. Oh, out of wire. Out of wire. Wow, this is some serious industrial strength building we're doing over here. Just for screws. Make a whole bunch more of that. And we'll get that all automated here in a bit. Okay, we got to add all of our stuff there too. We got to come back to that. Let's keep working on this first. And we got all of those. Do we already tell these to be? Yes, okay. I need to stay into the habit of going the direction it should go. This is a splitter, so this is actually going in right here. So it's going from the splitter into there. So you want to go right side to left side, but it already knows. It already is set the direction based on the way you have your splitter and whatnot. This coming in, backing it up. 1, 2. Nice little 90. There we go. All right. And again, same thing here. I just find that more fun, doing the kind of leap while I'm doing it at the same time. I don't know why. It's just more fun. All right, and then again, nice 90 here. Now here's a little trick. See how I got the 90 correct now? I would take this little middle bit out, and then I would redo this. This way you don't have to upgrade that smaller piece later on. You just upgrade this full line and upgrade this full line. This is all going to have to be upgraded. All of it, too, for sure. We're going to also need a lot more power in the long run as well. So we're going to need to get this going. Now, we've got power back there. We've got all this stuff rocking and rolling. This side looks good. Got that all the way down. Oh, forgot about Stream Raiders again. I did. Oh, we're going to do Stream Raiders? Yes, right now, everybody. I don't know why it is that my alarm goes off, and then I just totally forget. I set an alarm for it. Thank you for the reminder, Adobe. Appreciate that. Let's get into it, everybody. Actually, funny thing, right at the beginning of the stream, I had to reset the map because we failed last time. But we're going to pull it together this time, everybody. Let's go. Come on, this will be the one. I'm going to go ahead and put Norbert down. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some love. Come and join us, streamcaptain.com. That's part of the Kismet thing up in here, is the inability to remember stuff. That's what my stream is pretty much the whole theme of my stream. Is Kismet forgot stuff. There we go. So go ahead and do that. Like I forgot there was a meeting yesterday too. My mod meeting. I totally zoned on it big time. This could definitely be better straightened here. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit more beautiful. A little bit more beauty must. Let's go ahead and reverse engineer that one. We'll go to right here. And then what we'll do is instead of having it like this, we'll go ahead and move it out just a little bit. We'll do the same thing. We'll line it up. We'll say like this. There we go. That's nice. And then back to like that. And then take this out, and then take this. Double beautiful 90s. You see that? That was pretty nice. See, so you come backwards, right? You backwards line it up, and then you got double 90s that come out pretty beautiful. A nice beautiful arc there. That works pretty great as well. So learning how to make it beautiful is also part of the fun of Satisfactory. And how to make it nice 90-degree corner and whatnot. Oh, that one too. Look at that. Not too straight. Not too straight or Rooney. So let's go ahead and fix that as well. So let's say right to there. Yeah, right to there. Let's go ahead and take this out. We'll leave that in there. How can we do that where... Let's move that conveyor pole over just a little bit. And that's going to show us where we need to stop. And let's see if we can get that to be beautiful as well. Right about there. There's a beautiful 90 and a nice straight line. There we go. See? You can reverse engineer it, come back, make it look awesome. All right, so we got all these going. I feel like we got to do this middle part still. Let's get this middle going as well. Again, if you notice that I made a bunch of these steel beams, and I literally have like 10 times or 50 times the steel beams that I had of my reinforced iron plates. And that's because it's so much easier and faster to make a crazy ton of these steel beams and use level 3s than it is to make level 2s, especially early game. Early game, you're roughing it out just power-wise to try to keep this stuff a-going. So let's keep this a-going, speaking of. Okie dokie, I think we've got it all in and ready to rock. Now all we need some iron ore, and this is all going to fire up when I give it some power. But first, let's go ahead and start with our iron rods right over here. Let's retool our inputs right over here. So we're going to go ahead and take this out of here, and we're going to go ahead and tell it, all right, we want to go ahead and run this out of here. And we're going to use our things we unlocked, which is our conveyor wall mount, and we're going to try to run it in a lower area. We could run it up higher, I guess. We're going to try to run it up higher. Let's see if we could run it, say, up to here. See how that would look. Not too bad. I like that. Yeah, I think I'd like it a little bit more if it was more forward. No, don't like it. If I don't like it, I ain't doing it. All right, let's line it up like this. Let's create a nice little side like this. Now we're getting somewhere. All right, I like that better. I'm a very particular, everybody. Very particular. Okay, let's do that. Let's go ahead and get our use our stackers to help us out on this one. We're going to go ahead and pull our stacker up here. I'm going to try to line it up a bit with that one there. And let's say that's definitely not it. There we go. That's lined up. That's lined up. Oh, that was lined up. No, that was lined up pretty good. Okay. And so what we're doing is we're just putting the stackers down so we get a general idea of where we can use this to turn this one like that out a bit so it doesn't hit that. And then this is just there temporarily. Take that out. So kind of line that up, and then that should go straight into there. And look beautiful. Now, hey, I don't need this conveyor wall pole anymore. It's just to help me line that up nicely like that. And oh wait, actually that doesn't even go there. It doesn't even go there, everybody. That's the incorrect spot. We want it to go a little bit lower, down to there. This is this one going to be going down to there. Let's make sure it's not. Nope. No, 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 no. Let's say. Right about. Kind of feel right there. Yeah, there we go. And that one's actually going into there. That's a little low. A little low. So that has to go up. This is going to come out. I'm actually going to move that over by 1. And this is going to go back in as a solid wall. And this will say... Yeah, it feels low. But it's like you got the low part or you got the way up part. Well, let's just try that. Let's try that and see if we like it. Okay, that's fine. Yep, that's good. That's nice. Okay, so we got that one going up to there. And that's going to run all the way over to here. I kind of feel like what we'll do is we'll take this one out. We'll move this up a little bit. Like that. Take this one out. All right, now we're getting into it. Okay, now we got to get our third one to end up over here, and that should be pretty easy because we can just line it up over here and then line it up off of that pole as best we can. So say right there, and then we'll go ahead and double stack it. Ooh, come on, there we go, double stack it. And then run that out and see how we like that. Oh, perfect. Perfecto. All right, nice. Like it. Like it a lot. All right, then we'll connect it back into the system we've already got. What the heck are you doing? Okay, must have accidentally clicked it. There we go. I accidentally must have clicked the left mouse button. It actually tried to attach to the wall. There we go. Okay. So now all of these should be running out. Oh, yeah. That is a lot of iron right there. That's 240 pure nodes with Mark IIs. That's 240 each of those running out of there. That's crazy. That's crazy, crazy. Now, the question is why is it stopped? Why did it stop running? Is it full already? Really? No. The way we know is we check the bottom box. Yep. All 4 of those are full. All 4 of those are full. So now our production is stopped because it doesn't need to make that production go. And that's why I can keep production going, because I just let it run until it's full. And then it shuts off, and then it doesn't need that particular power. Until I need it again in the higher end resources. And the same thing we're going to do with this up here. We're going to try to basically do what we're doing over here, right, where we've got our power lines running. But we're going to run it over on this side And we've got ourselves a nice little spot right there. I feel like we could utilize. And I'm going to go ahead and sneak in a wall. Did you see how I perfectly put that where I didn't have to, I could put a wall there? I don't think you noticed. I don't think you noticed. We need some plates, everybody. I feel like we got a couple. Might have a few now, right? Might have a few of them. Yeah. Yeah, we got a couple over here now, so we don't have to worry about it too much. Let's get a few of those going. Now it's going to start my production right back up again. Start feeding it back in there. Get it going on. All right. So let's go ahead and put in our walls so we can go ahead and put in our power. And we're going to use our same trick we did over there. Let's make this 3 high. I feel like it's always a good idea to do the bottom one first. This still gives me enough room to run by. I also feel like it's always good to stand on the outside face. This is the outside face of the wall because it makes it easier. It has a tendency to default to that direction, to the outside face. Like you're standing outside the factory as opposed to standing inside the factory. I'm notorious for building inside the factory as well. All right, let's go ahead and make a nice little double wall outlet here. We're going to go ahead and bring that power from over there to over here. And then we're going to run it up into here. Where are we at here? We're double high on this side? Yeah, we're double high over there. Let's go ahead and match that over here, double high. And then we'll go ahead and run our power up here. See, without all the power poles and all of that stuff. We're going to run that right there. I think we went every 2 was what we were doing. Yeah, every 2. Like that. We can come back and take out the unnecessary ones later. But we're just going to run these every 2. Oh, it's kind of hard to see it on this side. Let's go on this side. And do it here. There we go. 2 there. And again, I like to do the same, whatever I'm doing, like the wall outlets. I like doing all the wall outlets first. And then do all the wires after. And so on. And I'm out of, speaking of wire, out of wire. All right, always out of something. Always out of something. All right, I used up all my wire over here. You're like, well, Kismet, why don't you have tons of wire all this time? Well, I threw in the awesome sink. I don't like to micromanage all that resources when I'm retooling my thing. We're going to get into making a bunch of wire, hopefully today. When we get all of this squared away first, all these screws, that is more than I can actually produce right now. More than I could actually run down the line. For sure. For sure. All right, where did we leave off? Way over there. All right. That would be actually a great use of catwalks right here. There goes Big Boy flying by. And we should end up right there. Perfect. All right, awesome. Okay, so now we got 12 of these to run. We got to make sure... I looked at all of these already. Yeah, I think I looked at all of these. And we did all of those. And we already checked all of that. I'm just checking all my conveyor lines. I put all my conveyor lines in. I do a lot of double checking, everybody. This is how you can just start it up and set it and forget it. So a lot of checking that you didn't miss any conveyor lines. Just looking at the lines as I'm running by. All right, now all we need to do now is make sure we have these all set up, which we do. I just run a whole lot of power. And then these are going to fire up and start to work eventually. And so we'll run a bit of these. We'll say 3 from that one. And we'll move down just to kind of make the lines run. We can come back and fine tune all of these lines if we want to. Me, I just kind of run them in groups of 3, then move down. Maybe groups of 2 there. Again, everything doesn't have to be symmetrical. I find too much symmetry pretty dull. And maybe one from the end there. Right, it doesn't have to be all exactly the same. It's all part of the fun. All right, we got these going over here. Oh, we got to connect this to the inner part. This is why this hasn't fired up yet. Now, I left myself a little bit of space here, like I talked about earlier, so I can run back and forth between these. It works pretty great. Okay, so we got to bring our line in because we disconnected our line there when we moved it up. Let's bring that in, and that's going to start to fire up all of our rods here. And see, the first one's going to go in there first, and then it's going to start going there, and so on and so forth. You can see it start up down the line. One of my favorite things to watch is all of them start up. That's just super cool, bro. Super cool. All off onto the horizon. Pretty cool. You have a cup of a coffee? Yeah, sometimes I get thirsty. See? Now, I do a little RP here as well for the cup. You know why it never spills? See how it never spills? You know why? Because there's a button on there that you hold down when you want to drink it. And then when you let go of the button, the force field comes on. Because, hey, it's science, right? Because reasons. I RP in my own stuff. So, yeah, there we go. So that's all now firing up, making a crazy ton more of rods. Now, over here, this rods are not even running anymore, by the way, because I've maxed out the rods. So I could, in theory, just take this and turn this over there and make it do my screws. But we've got plenty for all along that we need. And we're going to need a crazy ton of screws in the long run. Okay, so we got those wired on that side. We got to wire them on this side. Now, eventually, by the way, that's going to come all the way down and end up over here, these things. Let's see if it's even gotten down here yet. Oh, there they go, our first row. Our first row coming in, getting split, run into there. Let's see if it fires up. No power. Oh, I gotta cross connect all the power. Hold on a sec. I gotta cross connect it from over here. Duh. Gotta cross connect this way. See, that first one's got power, but the one at the end doesn't because I didn't come back and connect all of these together. Let's do that. That sounds like a plan. And I connected on the inside in this case. You connect it on the outside too, depending on where you want to look at it. That's okay. It'll backlog some of them poles in there. Or rods. All right, nice. And then we can go ahead, while we're here, let's just go ahead and connect these in here, and these will start up. Now, very quickly, this is going to overwhelm the belts. It's going to overwhelm the belts with way too many screws. It's going to be way too many. And then all of this stuff's going to come to a stop. Now, this whole not doing the numbers thing is all based on, well, I mean, we're kind of doing the numbers, but not really seriously doing the numbers. I mean, we could really make everything exactly the same exact speed, and the belt speed, the speed at which the moment in which they need to be that fast, and so on. But the whole point of this is that you set up your production for later. Right? All of this production is set up for later. There's a whole bunch of rods being produced. You can see them being produced all the way down the line. There's a whole bunch of screws being produced to fill up our boxes with that particular resource. But in the long run, I'm going to need a lot of screws. And this is over 900 screws right here. There we go. I think I need to restart my game. Haven't gotten to the coal generators yet. Microgravity generator at the bottom of the cup. Yeah, see this little microgravity thing that holds it, and then this force field comes up there, and it keeps it from going on there. I made that up. I made that up, everybody. That's my RP for the reason why your coffee never spills when you're jumping around. See, never spills. Hey, we need that in real life. All right, so these are all looking good. This has come down. It's made all the screws. And here's another great way to test to see if you did it right. Look at all the conveyors and make sure that you see screws all the way down. If you see screws all the way down, then you did it right. And you don't even need to check the part up ahead. You could just check this part and see if there's tons of screws all the way down, and you're good. Now, if you see one that doesn't have screws, red alert, right? There's something going on right there. Why does this one not have screws. No power. Oh, we missed one. We missed one there, everybody, and that's why I always double check all of my stuff. I actually did that on purpose in case you missed it. That's why you come back and you double check it to make sure that it is like there. So there we go. And then same thing over here. You want to see that this is all outputting all of this stuff. You want to see it coming out. Now this hasn't backlogged yet, but it will eventually. But I'm just looking at every single one to see that I see rods coming out of there. Where's my rods here? Where are my rods at in this one? What's going on? Ah, there we go. There we go. Now, the reason why these are slower is because the ones at the beginning are getting massively overfed, and these ones at the end are waiting for those ones to get filled. They have to get filled all the way down with too much before these end ones really start to kick in. So like I said, this is actually less efficient, but more efficient in space, less efficient in starting all of your stuff at the same time. Now, over time, it won't matter because all of this stuff's going to be filled with extra resources and to the point in which it's all going to be evenly fed and evenly running in the long run. But in the short run, these ones here at the end, they're at the end of the line, bro. It's like being at the end of the line to go and have dinner, right? Because look, there's only that one coming through here. And I'll show you what I mean. Let's run down here. And let's run all the way to the end. And if we go here to this one, we can see that one's backlogged. And that one's backlogged. And this one. And so on. And as the further we go this way, the more movement we're going to see. See that one right there? That one's not backlogged yet, meaning it's not almost full. Right? It's at 81 right now. So this one's going to need to hit 100, and then it's going to start to backlog like all the rest of these, and then just feed in a little bit at a time. And then that one's going to need to do it, and then the next one, and the next one. And that is the biggest drawback of doing inline run, that it takes a while for the production to build up to the point in which it's evenly running everything. Where if I center split everything, if I center split all of this and center split it and center split it and whatnot, it will instantly start them all up at the same time, and they'll all be evenly fed at the same time, which is why I typically like center splitting. But this is nice to do center line for long-term stuff. But for long-term, no big deal. You just let it run, and eventually it'll be efficiently running. Same thing with the screws on the other, or the rods that we're making on the other side and whatnot. Over here. Same thing on the rods on the other side. This one way at the end is going to be starving for rods, right? You know, it doesn't have much rods here. But way on this side... But way on this side, we're going to get those rods, and those rods are going to start to backfill right here until we get 100. Now that one's backfilled. And then this one now is working on backfilling. It's 82. So that's going to take a while before it's completely full. And then it won't feed them in at the speed at which it's feeding them in now. It'll just say, oh, one at a time. One at a time, or two at a time, or whatever it needs, right? 10 at a time in this case. Whatever it needs. And then that's going to start to backlog. It's going to backlog all of these. Then it's going to start to backlog all the things and whatnot. But eventually it will be up to full speed and whatnot. Center split. Center split's a great... this is what I call inline splitting. Center splitting is like this, where you take a constructor. Right, well, I'm going to wire. Hold on, I'm going to make some wire. Make some wire real quick. Or cable in this case, actually. All right, so we go ahead and grab a constructor. Really? Really? Oh, we got to get on our wire. We got to get on our wire today, everybody. We got to get it going. Let's see. I'm out of wire, too. So I got to go run back, get some wire and whatnot. All right, hold on. We got to run back, and I'll show you. I'll show you what I mean. And these are all your basics that you're getting going here. And then I'm going to be backlogging a lot of these basics so that I'll have them when I need them. I'm actually looking for some wire in there. All this stuff will eventually end up in his home. None there. Eventually end up in the appropriate boxes. But right now, we tore the whole factory down. We're retooling the factory so we can use it for other reasons. Oh, we got a whole bunch of stuff in here. Cool. Just use that one instead of that one over there. But what we're going to do, all I'm doing here is just grabbing some basic resources so I can make a bunch of wires so I can put down these constructors and whatnot. And again, eventually you automate all of this so it does it all for you. And that's the next thing we're going to do. Wire, cable, and then copper sheets as well. But we want to get this all running first. Okay. That's looking good. Let's do that, and then more cable. I don't mind making it, especially this low-level stuff. Low-level stuff's easy. And I could have already progressed, by the way, to the next tier and done all of that and get up to the highest tier. I could have already done that, but that's okay. Okay, so when you got two of these down, you're going to either split them in 2s or in 3s, typically, if you're not doing the inline thing. Because a splitter splits in half or splits in thirds, depending on what you're doing, right? Depending on the math, right? If I have 60 coming in, right, from my ore extractor, and then I need 30, well, then I need to cut it in half, right? So because half of 60 is 30, right? So you go cut it in half. And this is what I call center line splitting right there. That's center line splitting. And then you do this, and then you do this. So it's coming in like this, and then it's feeding out equal, right? It's equal, and it's going good. Now, that takes a lot more work than center line splitting. And then also the other one you would do is in thirds, like this. And then you put your splitter right here in the center. You get the idea. Splitter in the center, and then you run it out and you run it forward. And that's a center line split. And that means that it's feeding it evenly from the very beginning. From the very beginning, it's taking whatever it is and it's splitting it in half. So you got one going this way and one going that way. One going this way and one going that way. As opposed to, you know, it going at 240 into the first one until that one fills, and then 240 in the next one, and so on. Now, I could actually make it fill faster if I wanted to. I could actually make each one of those conveyors that is going to the actual screws or iron rods in the beginning. I can actually make that one level 3s if I want to. And then that is going to instantly, or at least pretty instantly, backfill this first one. Because that's going to be 100. So 240, bam, that one's full. Boom, that one's full, that one's full, that one's full, that one's full. So if you do want to speed it up, I could just go in and change all of these belts to level 7s. So that means that this, when you're doing inline, if you do your inner belts at that speed, same thing. But I feel like it's kind of a waste because, you know, you just let it run and it tools its way up. Also, what it does is it evenly ramps up the power as well. So if you do have a power problem, it will ramp it up a little bit slower so you can make some resources before it kicks off. Now, let's go ahead and see how we're looking now. Oh, we're still rocking at 500. Why? Because a whole bunch of other production is off. If I had all my production running at the same time, it would just go whoop. It would just spike itself all the way to max power. All right, so we got that done. So now we got it all feeding back to right here. Now, again, this is 900 screws. Do we need 900 screws right now? Absolutely not. We can't even run it at that speed. We can't even make it go that fast. Now, we need it to go all the way back this way, though. We need to run it back in this direction, and we need it to end up right here, right? Now, I can also run 2 lines if I want to, and I could have done 2 separate boxes and all of that of screws in the early thing, but eventually I'm going to come back and work on it. And we worked a bit on how we wanted this to run across here and into here. But what we really need to do is just merge this all into one line. So I'm actually going to take out this top one here. And the maximum it's going to be running those screws through there is going to be 270, actually, a little bit faster than 240 because the belt goes 270. So now we need to fix our little spot over here so that we can go ahead and bring this down into the screws properly. I'm going to bring that up just a little bit like this and put our 270 line in. And we're going to see if we can bring that down. It's pretty steep. Yeah, a little too steep there. So we're going to have to bring that up just a bit. No, that's not going to work either. Oh, boy. Bit of a problem there. Did we already upgrade these lines? We did. That's going to be a bit of a problem. It's up too high. So we're going to need to bring that down a little bit first. Let's try this one. Yeah, okay. We'll just bring that down a little bit at the end. So that... Oh, it actually was going up a little bit there too. So probably better we bring it down. And there we go. All right. We've got that all looking good. Got it all lined up nicely. And going into that box that we wanted to go into. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically merge these two lines together. But it's going to overwhelm our belts. It's going to be way too much stuff running through there. Now, I'm going to have it running on the inside, just for funsies. We're going to have it running on the inside here up at this upper level. And again, figuring out the logistics is all part of the fun of this game. And let's see, we're going on the outer one, I think, is the one we did. Eventually, this is going to be for something else. This inner one, actually, be inner one. So this one is the one we want right now. And we'll run that over to there. Okay. And it's really good to run your stuff backwards, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm basically starting from the end and working my way backwards. Now, while I'm doing that, we can go ahead and run our battle. Sorry again for the slacking. Oh, we don't got that many peeps. Oh, see, you're like, Kismet, I want to do stream raiders, but I don't see that many units down, everybody. I see some people just putting 1 unit, 2 units down. Come on, we got to step it up. We got to step it up. Still got the win, though. Nice job, everybody. Nice job. Let's go. JC Hunter getting some extra love there. Nikita coming in overall MVP. All right, let's go for that gold, everybody. Let's get that gold today. Let's get it. Time for the Wasteland Tycoon to make an appearance. Let's do it. Let's go straight for that goblin tosser there. Now, come and join us, everybody. StreamCaptain.com. Pretty fun game to play. I'm chewing gum. There you go. Thanks for that random statement in the chat. As someone said I ate an apple the other day. I was like, what? That is so weird. That is like a red flag. That's like a red flag for my mods. When people say weird stuff like that, it's like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look out. Here we go. Get the band hammer ready. Saying weird stuff in the chat. You know, I feel like I'm going to bring this one down a little bit, and then it hopefully won't interfere with that one. We got to move that closer like we did on the other ones. Let's take that out. Move it closer like right there. So we got to do the same thing we're doing here, and we got to bring it down. That's way too close. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, I like that. And then we'll run this across here, and we're going to bring it back up. Now, I've already set the direction of the conveyors, so they'll end up correctly at the end. So let's go way over here. Let's say right here. And then both of these ones are going to be coming out of here. So the interesting thing, this is a merger, but we need to merge it again on its way up here. So I kind of feel like we'll just go ahead and take out the bottom here. And we'll just put a merger on the edge. I'm a merger on the edge. I can't take it anymore. There we go. And there we go. All right, that's going to be way too many screws. Way too many screws for that. But hey, you know what? It's going to be fun. That's all part of it. Is doing the funness. The funness of it. Let's say right there. All right, let's see if we can get this up to go up there. Yes, we can. And down the line. Nope, accidentally clicked the wrong button. There we go. So in theory, this thing is now going to ramp all of this up. And our screws are going to be coming out of here at way too fast. At 900, that's coming out of there now. Now we go ahead and ride along the conveyor ourselves because that's fun. Watch our production doing its thing. There's a thing of beauty. Look at those babies just flying in there. Oh, it's starting to backlog all the way down. That's looking good. And this is looking good here. And these are a little lower, so later on I could use this for something. So I'll tell you. And then the screws going across that way. So let's go watch the rest of our screws start to go into our thing over here. And we should see our screws going in right there. Oh, whoa, right there, right there. We saw it. We saw the front of it. The front of it going into there. And then what that's going to do is start to feed its way up into the upper levels. And these should all be Mark IIIs. I should really go through and just upgrade all of these. Let's just upgrade all of them now while we're thinking about it. Now I like the lifting to be at maximum speed that I currently can do. We're going to add a few more there. Let's do the front side. These are basically maneuvering them between each and everything. We already did those. And there we go. So that's going to go way faster. It's going to go at the rate in which it's feeding it all the way up to the top. Now let's go ahead and go back up to the top here and take a look at our screws coming in. As long as our coffee doesn't spill. Screw it! There we go. Always watching. I appreciate it, Dovey. All right, there they go. So they're going to start filling. That's going to fill up really, really fast. It's going to fill up at 270. It's faster than it can actually feed it between those. Because I don't have a... oh no, I did. Those are 270. So the feeder up is going to be good. But I mean, it's faster. It's producing faster than it can feed it down the line. That's 900 screws. And the nice thing is what it's going to do is actually turn my power on and off when it hits that max amount it can do. So it's not going to suddenly all of a sudden spike to 900 in power because it just physically can't produce can't run those screws fast enough to actually keep all that stuff constantly going. So you're going to see an up and down and up and down and up and down a lot in that because it's constantly turning it on and off as it hits that inability to feed it fast enough. But we're certainly going to have a crazy ton of screws, that's for sure. All right, so we've got our screws done. We got all of that. Guess what we're ready for? We're ready for our wire now. Wire time. Let's get into it. Let's get into doing some wire. That's all done. That's done, everybody. We're ready for our copper now. Ready for our copper. We're going to do it way out here, and then we're going to feed it way over here. Into this one right over here. These two. We're going to start with these two here. And then our copper wire, I believe, is going over there into that one. Yeah, copper wire right there. All right, so the first one we're going to need, and we already got our screws going, so we need our regular wire. Now, this particular one over here is something a bit different. Let's go ahead and take this out. Now, while we were busy doing that, look what happened. This filled this all up. Now, here's the funny thing. I meant to do a little bit. I don't need that much. I don't need that much. What I'm going to do is just store all of that, go over this, grab all of this, and literally just get rid of it. I'm just going to get rid of it, throw it in the awesome sink. Because it's just a bunch of wasted space and resources that I don't need. And so, store all, boom, into the awesome sink it goes. And that's going to give me a bunch of tickets so I can unlock other things like wall hangs and doors and walls and glass windows and all that kind of fun stuff you can unlock later on. And we'll go ahead and take that storage container out. And we got a couple other storage containers laying around. Let's go over here and grab this stuff over here. We'll grab all of this, take this storage container out. No longer need that. That was just a bit of a backup. Walk back over here. And we're going to put our poles and stuff in there. That we want to keep. Why not? But all the raw iron and ore and all of that stuff, don't need it. Don't need it. Throw it in there. Throw it away. And that's going to get rid of all of that. Okay. Then we're going to come back over here and grab all of our resources, and we're going to go to work here. Now, this one over here doesn't have individual lines. So the individual lines that I was running over there makes the math easier. But here, you definitely want to figure out the math of how you want to split this up based on what you're making, right? And we'll get into that here in just a second. How many hours do you have in this world? That's a good question. Let me look. Let's see. Not too many, I don't think. Let's save. About 50 hours. 51 hours so far in that world. Let's see. Kismet, how long did it take you to get this far? 50 hours. Does he read chat? Yes, I do. It was literally 2-3 minutes since when you asked me, so don't be entitled. Don't be entitled in my chat. I'll get to it. I'm talking to stream. I'm explaining things and doing stuff. Don't worry, I'll get to the chat. If I don't answer chat within 2 to 3 minutes, I feel like that's pretty good. Some people never talk to their chat, ever. Some of the big streamers never do, for sure. Yeah, about 50 hours. No biggie. All right, so getting back to what I was saying before I get totally sidetracked. Right now we're producing a bunch of copper down there, but how much copper are we producing? That's the important part. We're going to need to know first. And we happen to have a transport right here. It's going to take us right down in there. Whoop. Whoop, whoop. Right down into here. And what we're doing is we're just smelting it down here at the bottom level. We've got a pure node right over here. Now, this is the more advanced start. This is the third one over. You've got your forest. You've got your old desert, as I like to call it. And then the new one, or the new one with the new desert. And the third, that's the fourth one over. The third one over is this one, which is a more advanced start, where you start in a kind of a really enclosed space, but you start with a bunch of pure nodes. So you're just styling, but you have to build vertically instead of being able to just build this big, wide, horizontal area. So that's why you'll see I've got the lower level here, which is extracting. The ground is right underneath here, by the way. There's the ground. Is right there. And so this is extracting at 240 copper right here. And then we're running it in. We're doing an inline, just like we're doing on the others, instead of a center split. And you can see that it's producing 30 copper per minute. Or, I mean, 30 copper per smelter. So if we take 30 copper and we times it to how much ever smelters we have, it's going to come out to 240. You know why? Because I optimize it so it comes out to the same way, right? So if we go ahead and count how many we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we say, hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. What's 30 times 8?
30 times 8 is 240.
So your input is 30 and your output is the same. So we just know that it's going to be the same number as whatever we're inputting is going to be whatever we're outputting, typically. Depending on if you're overclocking and underclocking and all that stuff. But most of the time, you want to set it, if you're just doing same input, same output, you're good. Same speed. So this is 240 coming out of here. And so we need to think about 240, and we need to take that 240, we need to split it up into 3 different sections based on how much of each thing we feel like we need. And one of the first things we're going to do is give ourselves some more room out here. Go ahead and put in this concrete. You're like, Kismet, going to run out of concrete. I got 4 boxes of concrete over there. I got plenty of concrete. Sometimes it loves the misclick right there. That's my mouse. That's not the game. That's my mouse. Super sensitive. All right, there we go. Ran out. Well, I guess we'll just have to run over here and grab some more. And that's why I centralize my resources when they're like what I call finished resources, right? This is a finished resource for me. I go ahead and grab that out like that, sort it a bit, and then that's just going to start that whole production up again, make a bunch of those, fill those boxes, and turn itself back off again. And I like that. I like it when it does it itself. We've got it all set to go. Same thing with all the screws and all the other stuff that we made. We can just go and pick it up from our central area. Now, it's also on multiple levels. So it's in the upper level as well, where our space elevator is, and in the lower level where our production is. And we're feeding all of our resources from underneath, which is pretty sweet. Like that. All right, I feel like that's probably good enough to get started. And let's say, how do we want to run this over here? So again, start at the end and work our way backwards. And so we're going to say, okay, how do we want to run this? Now, I kind of feel like what we want to do is just run this back another one, right? So let's run this back another wall here. And then we'll go ahead and say, okay, we want to run a double in here. So we want to end up with our wire and our cable there. And so we don't even need this anymore. All right, we don't need this. Hold down control, by the way, if you want to get rid of multiple of them. But watch out, you don't accidentally get something you don't want to get rid of. And we can just take that out. I don't know. I kind of like just taking it out, you know, little bit by little bit. And we'll go ahead and run this right there. And we'll run that right there. So there we go. We're going to extend that a little bit. Now, if we're making stuff way over there, we've also got our ramp here, which I'm going to leave. And, you know, I might even, you know, solid it up a little bit. Pretty industrial strength. All right, mouse, come on now. Again, that's not the game. That's my mouse. Being all super sensitive. You don't need to do this. But it's fun to. There we go. All right, now we got the full industrial strength thing. In the beginning, I rarely ever do supports. I don't really care in the beginning. But there we go. So we've got our ramp in there, and that's our emergency ramp. If we run out of power, that'll allow us to get back up to our upper area to figure out what's going on. So yeah, 50 in. Do you leave room for expansion for when you get higher tier? Yes, that is what I'm doing right now. So this is basically the tiers are the levels of my base. So the lower level is the first tier, which is your extractors and then your smelters. Then the second tier is when I'm converting stuff into something else, right? So I'm converting into rods and plates and all that stuff. And that's why I built it up higher. And so I have a lot of expansion. If you look in this direction, I've got a lot of ability to go out in this direction if I want to. I can go that way. I can go way that way for sure. I got tons of expansion in that direction. And I'm always thinking of where I'm going to be going next. And I actually start from the end and always work my way backwards. What is the end result that I'm going to build? Well, the end result is your highest level items like your nuclear power. Where is that going to go? How are you going to run that? How are you going to get it over here? You're like, well, Kismet, I'm on plates right now. Why am I thinking about nuclear power? Because if you're going to do it right, where in the long run, you're thinking in your more long term, you got to be thinking that pretty close to the beginning as to making sure you have enough space and whatnot. But that won't even be on this level. That'll be on the upper level up there. And that'll be where all my stuff is that I'm making stuff that goes into the space elevator and all of that. Now, you have an infinite amount of levels and really an infinite amount of space that you can keep building because you can keep building vertically up there in theory. But there is eventually you're going to run out of the ability to actually move around because of your graphics card. It's because you're going to have so many items for it to calculate. And that's why I like to enclose things as well, is less for my graphics card to calculate if you have too many things out in the open. All right, so we're going to go ahead and look at this. So again, we're going to reverse engineer this a little bit. And we're going to say, okay, well, if we start from the end there, and we're going to move this over, and we want this to finish up where it comes out of here, it does all of our stuff, and then ends up coming back and running down the line and then running into there, right? So again, we're starting from the end. This is in theory the end, but it's really not. Because if I go to the other side of my, my things, they also come out on the other side. So if I need to go and I need to make plates, reinforced plates, I need to make modular frames, I need to make all that other stuff, you've got an output in which you can go ahead and expand it on. And those next level items will be built over here. And you can see I've got lots of room over there as well. Take that constructor out of there. That was just temporary. You get the idea. You get the general idea of watching for that expansion, watching for what you're going to be doing next. But first things first, we got to get over here and we got to get our wire going. So let's do that. And you can always come back and retool the base. That's what I'm doing right now. I had a thing that I was building, kind of a simple build that I had done before. And then now I'm coming back and I'm working on a more advanced vertical build, as well as not using conveyor lines or using conveyor lifters. These little thingies right here, conveyor stackable poles. Those are great in the beginning. But if you're actually going to build a factory, which is what we're doing right now, then you definitely want to utilize more of your walls and your lifting and all of that stuff And it's a lot cleaner, I find, too, in the long run. A lot cleaner and a lot more fun. But it's really your factory. You can build it however you want. It's my factory. I'm going to build it however I want, right? That's how it goes. That's how it goes. So eventually we want this to end up right here, and we want to go through these over here as well to end up over there. But we're going to go ahead and use our stackers. And the reason why our stackers are great is that we can control that kind of turn, the corner turn. So we're going to go ahead and say 2 there, and we're going to say 3 there. And you'll see why later on. So let's go ahead and put back in our wall here. We can get it to go the right direction. Okay, so there we go. Now eventually we're going to need our other item, which is our copper sheets, and we're going to run those in there as well. And you're like, well, Kismet, if you're just starting on all your basics right now, how do you have so much resources? Well, I already did it already. I already made all of these things before, and that's why I have so many resources, because I've already made all the advanced stuff, and I've already progressed myself up to tier 4, which is typically where I start to retool my factory. That's what I try to do. I try to go in and hey, watch out with the self-advertising in my chat there, Alex. Basically, what I'll do is I'll go through and retool it about this time and think of more of the long term, because you don't have a lot of your pieces and parts. You haven't unlocked stuff until you get to about tier 4, and then at tier 4, then you can start thinking more long-term stuff. All right, so we're going to come out of here, and again, this is going to come out of here at 240. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to go ahead and do a little play yard over here for us to decide what we want to do next. Now, these are all going to be based on constructors, so they're real easy. It's not like you're doing multiple inputs and whatnot. So we'll do our first constructor, and that one is going to be our wire. And then our next one is going to be our cable. And our next one is going to be our copper sheets. So this one's coming in at 20, this one's going in at 60, and this one is going in at 15. So you're like, whoa, wait a minute, what the heck? What the heck? This is coming in at 60. Yeah, but that's not 60 iron ore. It's 60 copper wire, because you got to make this one first before you make that one, just like we did with screws. You got to make iron rods first, and then they become screws. So in this case, this part right here is after that first part. So we can go ahead and make just a crazy ton of these, and then have one side continue to be wire, and then split it into the other side into our cable. Now, it would be really insane if I suddenly could just switch to like a diagram and pull that up on stream and show you a bit of how that stuff works. If I had, gone in and done some diagrams, a whole bunch of stuff that you could make. I think that's worth a follow. I think that'd be worth a follow. I think that's kind of, mega level, a whole nother level right there. Maybe some copper sheets and how to put copper sheets together. Yeah, maybe, maybe just how to do water and how to do power. Yeah, I guess that's good. How to make wire and cable at the same time based on how much you're bringing in from here. That seems pretty next level to me. But we're not going to be doing any of those charts. We did those another day. I'm just going to show you how to do it right here in game. It's going to be fairly easy. Fairly easy to do. But we're going to start with our wire, right? That's the number one thing we want to start with before we get to our cable. So we'll get to that in a sec. But right here, we also want to think about this. We're going to come in at 20. How much copper sheets do we really need to make right this moment? And we can come back and readjust all of this later. But we're going to have to decide between copper sheets and wire, not cable, but copper sheets and wire, how much we're going to input in each of these to make whatever we need to make later on. So copper sheets are used for your hypertubes, by the way. So you're going to use a lot of those. Wire, you're going to have so much wire, it's going to be coming out of your ears. You're going to have so much cable, it's going to be coming out of your ears. You're going to have so much of that, it's going to be insane. Especially at a pure node, and I've doubled the pure node with a Mark II extractor. So one pure node is going to be way more than we need right at this stage. Now later on, we're going to need a lot of it. But we're going to go ahead and think it through, right? We're going to think it through a bit. First, we can go ahead and say, okay, well, if it's coming in at 15, how many of these constructors, if I just wanted to make wire out of 240, we just do a little bit of that easy math, right? So, hey, Siri. And hey, you got this thing right here. It does all the math for you. Hey, Siri. What's 240 divided by 15?
240 divided by 15 is 16.
Now, we already knew that, right? We already knew that from our rods that we did. We already knew that that was going to be 16. Now, do I want to do 16 of those? Absolutely not. That is way too much wire and way too much cable. That is way too much of all of that, especially this early in the game. I'm only about 50 hours in, which isn't that much, and most of my hours I, just fuddling around anyway. But there you go. So, so we're basically going to go ahead and probably cut that in half, right? And half of that is going to become wire. Now, when this is outputting, it's going to go out at 30. And this is going to need 60 on the input. So we need 2 of those combined together to create one cable. And that is basically what this illustration is showing you over here that I've already done, is that 2 of these merge together. You can see here we can merge them together. So we forge this. 2 of these merge together, become 60 over here. This is merging these 2 down here together, and that becomes 60 and 60. And I'm recombining it into a box, but you could just literally just go straight from here into there, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to use a portion of these. Notice how I've got them in groups of 2s, 2, 2, 2. That's because I center split them. But in this case, actually, you can do them in groups of 16 or 8, whatever you want to do. In this case, I'm going to do 8 of these. Now, the math is not going to work out properly. And here's why. And that's because these are a 15 input, right? Over here. And these ones over here are not a 15 input, it's a 20 input. So that's going to be kind of confusing. So let's take 20 and let's divide that by 120, which is half of 240, right? Hey, Siri, what's 120 divided by 20?
120 divided by 20 is 6.
6. So we got 8 and we got 6. That's all you need to know. That's the whole premise of the entire game. 8 and 6. So there you go. Wow, that's quite the diagram. Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing, bro. Watch this. You ready? Watch this. We got some serious stuff over here. Ready? You want to see some? Look, I got a bunch of diagrams. We got some serious stuff going up here at the top. Hold on, look at this. This is rods into screws, into reinforced iron plates, into smart plating. Look at that. Look at that dealio going on over there. We could get really seriously diagram-esque up in here. And I can show you the numbers, too. I can show you the 20s and the 40s and the 100s and the digits and da-da-da. I have a whole spreadsheet for it if you want to see that. In fact, you could go check it out for yourself right there. See a whole bunch of notes I have on a whole bunch of different games. The second I find the button for it. Where's my button? There's so much stuff I need to work on. There's only one Kismet. There's only one me. I know it's here. I've pressed it a bunch of times. I'm just blanking on it. Where are you? Oh, right there. It's right there in front of my face. No wonder I can't find it. I'm looking for it on my Stream Deck. I have a bunch of different commands over there I can just press. But there you go. You can follow that. Check it out. I have a bunch of tabs at the bottom. You can check it out for different games that I do take notes along the way. I'm old school. I don't look stuff up. I go and I learn it as I go, and then I take notes, and I put it down, and I do all the math, and I do all of that fun stuff in there. And that'll get you started. And that's not all of it because it would be humongous. But it's a good little starter amount of math in there to get you to kind of understand how the math works. So 8 and 6 is all we need to know. 8 and 6, and we're good. So first we'll start with the 8. And since we have a transport right here, this is going to be a little awkward. It's going to be kind of in our way. So we'll go ahead and just start by leaving ourselves a little walkway here. And we're going to start with 8 here. Now this is going to come out of here. And then we're going to do another inline merge. So we're going to go ahead and say, let's say, all right. Let's give ourselves a little extra room. You know what? Let's go full 2 in. That sounds like an idea right there. So first we're going to do 8 of these. And do we have our road? We do have our road. Okay, good. And we'll go like this. And guess what we're going to need? We're going to need more wire, which is what we're doing right here. That's okay. We don't have to run all the way back. We go ahead and put this right over here and try to make some more wire. Or, sorry, cable from the wire. All right. How many do we got? We got 3, and we need 5 more. So let's go ahead and just tell it we need 5 more. Right there. We're going to need 40 wire. So it tells us a little bit. The thing is, one of my favorite things in the game is the fact that you can kind of tell it how much you need, and it tells you how much you need to make. Right? Like I want to make this many of this thing, and it says, oh, well, you're going to need this much resources. Very, very handy. And so I'm going to need about another 20, so that should be good. Now, in a minute, this is going to be really easy because it's going to make all this for me. And that's how you progress in the game, right? Instead of you manually making it, which is what I'm doing right now, it's going to do all of it for me. So let's just do it in a group of 4 there. And I'm going to leave a little bit of gap. And this is something I like to do. You know what? Let's leave a full thing gap there just for funsies. And we're going to move this away from the rest of our factory. Why are we moving it away from our factory? Because we're going to run it this way, and then we're going to turn it around. We're going to run it back toward the end on the other side. And so we got our original here. And what we want to do, though, is when we're feeding this in here, and we're going to split this as it goes down the line. But we don't want to run it necessarily across our road. So we don't want to just run it down like that. So we're going to go in here and try to fine-tune this a bit. And so we're going to go ahead and say maybe 1 out. That seems pretty good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use a lifter right here. Lifter level 3. There we go. I'm going to use a lifter to bring that in from over here. So we'll go ahead and run it up from down below into here. That's going to very quickly show up right there, and you're going to see it start to feed down. There we go. Nice. That's going to feed down, and then that's going to feed right into these constructors. Luckily, they are going all the same direction. Yes, they are. Awesome. And then we're going to tell it wire. All right. Before we put in all the rest of our stuff, let's just very quickly go in, and we know we're going to use 8 of these as wire. Right over here. And this is going to be a lot of wire. It's going to be a crazy ton of wire and a crazy ton of cable, and it's going to fill up my boxes in no time at all. Very, very quickly. Okay. Oh, it's time for a battle. Now, what I'm going to do while you guys are watching this particular battle is I'm going to keep running my splitter here, hopefully in the right direction. Do I have this one going in the right direction? I do. Okay. For some reason, it swapped me back the other way. Okay. What I'm going to do while you guys are doing this battle is I'm going to keep running these down the road here, and we're going to get them all in there and get them going. Let's do it. Let's go to battle, everybody. It's a fun little side game we play called Stream Raiders. Very, very fun. Made by the awesome peeps over at Stream Captain. Very, very fun to play. Everybody in the chat's playing it. You might as well be playing it too. You can join us for the next one. Get them! Got a couple peeps up there in the corner we still got to get. That's me, the Wasteland Tycoon. Getting it going on. Nice. All right, open the captain's chest. Give you guys some extra love. Fox Vera getting the 10 gold. Kelamal coming in, overall MVP. Nice. All right, let's get some more battles in. I'm going to call in Norbert to lend a hand. I feel like we'll just start here on the left side and work our way across. It's kind of an awkward placement here. We all kind of cluster together right here. I think we have plenty of room for everybody to run across there and get into some trouble. Nice, nice job, everybody. Nice job. There you go. Always talking to Bo. So, yeah, got to leave room for expansion for sure. Got to leave the room. Okay, so back to it. I was making a little bit more wire there, so I can make some more of these splitters. Again, these are all inline splitters. We got them all running in a row, aimed in the same direction. And so we're going to go ahead and go in, and that's already connected there. Now again, you could just skip. If you got enough of this steel, you could just skip using the lower level ones, and it would just automatically feed in there. I feel like that's the best time to do it when you're doing inline, when you're doing inline stuff, you might as well just go like max speed need a lot of that. You might as well go max speed of the conveyor of whatever you can do when you're doing inline. But me, I hate wasting resources, so I got a lot of plates, and I still got a lot of this other stuff too. But I would rather just use my plates for the lower level stuff. Less chance I'm going to run out. I'm going to run out here in the long run before I get to my steel production, which is after our production gets this done. Now, we're going to probably run out of time to get all of this done, so I'm going to speed up a bit here. Again, get this going on. Oh, we got to remove our redundant one, which is our one at the end. There's no reason to have a splitter at the end because it's not splitting anything. It's literally just taking it and running it in there. That nice 90 degree. There we go. Okay, and we already told it to be all the things it needs to be. Now what we need is power. So let's go ahead and pick up... let's pick up the wall first. Let's say we'll run our power right to there. And we'll pick up this double wall outlet. And we'll run it right to there. And there we go. So now we've crossed the power over. We've got those in there. And we're going to go ahead and tell it to do its thing. All right, nice. Really got to get used to doing it from this side. Because it defaults... I'll go back in and make doorways and all that other stuff in there later. But for right now... By the way, you don't even need to move. I have a tendency to move because I'm used to older games where you have to kind of move. You can just stand still and just do it that way. Easy enough. Easy enough. All right, let's go ahead and make our outlets along the wall here. I like our outlet nice every couple. Like that. We can go every third. Whatever floats your boat. Now connecting them all together. And then I'm going to go ahead. Oh, out of wire again. Out of wire. We're going to be doing a lot of wire for right now until we get our wire going. Make some more. Now, here's the thing. This just went in and it made a bunch of wire. Or I had to make cable. Sorry, I made cable. It's made a bunch of wire already. There's no reason for me to make wire anymore. It just did it all for me. And that one's still waiting on power. Those ones at the end. But it just made me like 200 wire like that. So I don't need to go in here and hold down the wire anymore. It's actually faster to make wire in the constructor than it is to do it in here. And some things are faster in here, and some things are faster in the constructors. Depending on what stage you're in, what you're doing, and all of that. Some things are faster there, some are faster over here. And so we made a bunch of cables. Let's keep it going. And there we go. And that's going to make a tremendous amount of wire. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to split our production in half. Right? So half of this is going to be wire, and half of this is going to be cable. Right? So this first half here is just going to merge together and make its way back to my box. So when I need cable, I'll have it. Right? So let's go ahead and just do our mergers. Let's take care of this first because it's going to be our easiest. And I'm going to start with the first one here, even though that's redundant, but still. I'm going to go ahead and run it in the direction that we want it to end up, like so. We'll take this first one out. And then it's coming out at a certain speed, right? It's coming out at 30, so my lowest belt, more than good enough. Right into there. There we go. And then over here, these can all be the lowest speed belt. But here, when I get to the when I'm connecting them together, I'll just do the fastest level belt. And we can figure out the math and all of that. Doesn't really matter in the long run. But you can get the general idea. This is 30, so this is 60, that's 120. It's really 120 is all you need. but I'm going to go with the higher speed belt. Just because in the long run, I'm going to be upgrading all of this. So this is going to be our first one that we run over here. Now we got to get past this output or this thing coming from up above. Could have put it down lower and bring it up too, but we're going to need to get past that as we circle this back. So we're going to use our wall thingy here, which is pretty awesome. And we're going to go, I'm going to look at where it's at. We're going to bring it forward just a little bit. We're going to look at where that line is. We're going to come up on the line and say a little bit lower for right there. And then we'll go ahead and bring it out of there. And that's going to go up here. And that's going to start bringing our wire out. Here comes our wire. There we go. Very nicely. And then we're going to go ahead and bring this down just above this. There we go. I try not to clip through anything, unless it's for an RP reason. Now here's another little thing you can do. You can go ahead and hold down the mouse button and then move as far as you can until you can see that you can't go any further, which is right about here. And those are about 6, and I can just count them every 6 of those. So let's go ahead and put one right here. Now we need to look at the level at which that one is, and it's just about a little bit less, a little bit above halfway. So we'll go and we'll count it. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's about halfway. There's a little bit higher than halfway. Let's go with that. All right, nice. Now I also need to go in and I need to bring this part eventually back. And I need to think about that right now before I start making all the cable and all that stuff. Is that eventually is going to come back this way, and it's going to end up here. Now what I want to do is actually take this and move it down, because it's eventually going to be the first one, the bottom one, or I could do it, I could make it the top one if I want, it doesn't really matter, but it's going to eventually end up to be down here at this level. So we're going to take that wall conveyor and we're going to see, okay, where's my spot, right? Where should I be at to line up with this perfectly? Well, that's a little bit low, so we take that out. And then let's say, what if I did it like that? How's that? Is that good? Oh, that's perfect. That's beautiful. So we want to look at how it's sitting on the thing up there. And then now that we have that, we want to go ahead and bring this one down to that level. Like that. Easy, right? And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right to there. Take this out now. Right here. And in theory, if we did it right, that's going to connect right there. And now we don't need any more because we already have the one at the end. So in theory, this is going to run across here, go through there, end up across here, into this one, from that one, into this belt, into that second belt, into the second box, and end up in the correct spot where we need all of our wire. And I love watching my wire go in for the first time. Now here's the thing. Doesn't seem to be working. I did that on purpose, by the way. It doesn't seem to be working. Why is it not working? That's because the first one is already being used. Right? The first one's already being used. What is it being used by? It's being used by our screws. See, our screws are going in that first one. So I don't want to line up on the center one. I actually want to line up on the second one over here. So this is actually the one I want. This first one is just there as a placeholder. So let's take that back out. Let's say, uh-oh, okay, we kind of did the wrong one here. We don't really need that. We don't need these stackers right here. So we just need to take this and run it into that belt. And so in theory, if we go up here and we watch, it's going to come down, run across, get up there, and if we go up above, it's going to end up in the correct one. And again, I do that stuff so you can see what potential issues you'll run into. It happens. Now look how it slowed down. See how it slowed down there? That's telling me that this belt right here is going way too slow. So let's go ahead and pick up that belt, middle mouse button, and then click, and we'll speed that up. Speed those in ones up. Now it's going much faster. There we go. Going at that maximum speed, and then lifting now into the upper area. So let's go look in the upper area up there and make sure we did that right. Always great to take a moment to double check your stuff as you go along, so all your stuff is running, and then you can kind of just set it and forget it. So in theory, if I go up here and I look here, it's feeding wire into the top part. There we go. I love this. I love these kind of, figuring it out and the game mechanics and figuring out the logistics of how you're running everything and how you can really clean it up so it's really nicely run. Where it's running super smooth and running along the walls. It's up off the ground. You can drive your vehicles around. You get from place to place without constantly worrying about running into that stuff. And that is how you do that. Now, you probably got the gist of how I'm going to do it here. And then also what it does, it gives me a little bit of an offset to know where my next one's going to be right here. So my next pole is going to be right there. And I know I'm going to go ahead and just do that. And we don't actually need this top pole. So it gives you the same idea. Now, the problem is this one needs the top pole, not that one. And I'm going to go ahead and run that next line up above, and that'll run into there. But we got to go do it first, right? Now, we got to figure out how much cable we're going to do. So we need to figure out what 4 of these equal in wire. So we're going to say wire is outputting at 30. So 30, that's 60, and then that'll be 120. So now we're going to do cable, and we're going to put our cable down, right? I'm just going to throw it down randomly here just to look at it. And we'll say cable. It needs to come in at 60 per minute, not 30, but 60. So that's double the speed at which it needs to come in. So if we go here and we say, okay, hold on. If we take this and we merge these two together, and we run them forward, it's going to equal 60, right? So you got 30 and 30, and over here you got 30 and 30, and all the math works out nicely so that you can go ahead and run that. So let's go ahead and, I'm going to do a center line merge on this one because that's the easiest thing to do. Then we're going to run this out into there, run that out into there. Okay. Now that's 60. And we're just going to run this nice and easy peasy right there. Run that into there. Tell it to be cable, and it's going to tell it to be cable. And it's just going to be an insane amount of cable there, by the way. It's going to be a crazy ton. Now, one of the things we need to also do is we need to run some power. So we need to go, okay, where's our power out? We got an extra line for power back here. Where's our power? Let's see, that one's full. That one's full. Did we not make another one? Oh, we made another one. Apparently we did not. Okay. Okay, and then let's go ahead and connect them together so we know we got power. Oh, we gotta take this one out. We gotta take one of them out because it's full. We could connect it on the other side too, by the way. We could also do that. There we go. Okay. And then we need to use this last one here to connect to this one also. There we go. Okay. Now we want to go ahead and bring it forward, and one of the things we can do is we don't have to feed it from the back. We can feed it from the front as well. Now this is only going to be 2 of these over here, but it's going to make a plenty enough for all of this for right now. Copper sheets is actually the thing I use a lot of, and that's because we're going to be doing a lot of transport from really far away and whatnot. And this is just the mirror image of that other one. So we're just going to do the same exact thing here, and I'm watching. See how my lines are? It tells me where my other constructor is, and this one's telling me where my splitter is. And so we can kind of line those up together. Very nice. There we go. And then since this is the end of this particular line here, I can go ahead and say, okay, this whole thing here is going to stop right about here. We're going to merge these two together. Turn my light on. We're going to merge these two together how we want to merge them. Now, I could just say inline merging, where I just do this, right, where I go like that, which I don't really need to do. You only really need to have one if you're going to do inline merging. Or we can do center merging, where we merge them both together this way, and then we run it out that way. Now, we're going to, that we did center line, but this we're going to do inline. Oop, we're going to do inline. Try to rotate that, or already rotated correctly. There we go. Bring it out just a little bit. Now, this one over here, again, is going to be producing 30, right? It's going to be producing 30 from that now. So we just go ahead and run this over to there. But even better, we can bring it out, line it up, back it up by 2. Oop, that was trying to be 2. 1, 2. There we go. And then we got a nice 90-degree corner. Looking good. Looking good. And then this one coming out of here into there. And then this one will circle back and end up over here. I feel like when you pick it up, it should pick up the direction that you picked it up as. See how precise that is? Look, I did the wall way down there. Way down there. And I even had it rotated the right way that I wanted to rotate. That's so awesome. You got to give them lots of credit in this game. They've done a phenomenal job. All right. Now, what we're going to do is also use this wall as something to help us here. So we're going to go ahead and try to see what level we want it to be. And that should be high enough to not do that. So let's say about midway here. And let's kind of reverse engineer this first before we do it. I think that looks perfect. Awesome. And then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here. Gotta get an idea where that was again. A little bit less than halfway. Let's count it again. Right here. And I'll say there. And does it look straight, or does it look like it's going down? That looks pretty straight to me. Pretty good. All right. And then, by the way, I can just do this too. If it's far enough or close enough, I can just go all the way like that. And I feel like it's dipping just a little bit. Could be just an optical illusion. Dipping just a little. All right, let's try it up just a little bit further. Actually, here's a great idea. We're going to take this one. We're going to move it over to the side. And then we're going to take this one out. So this gives us a reference of where we were before. I'm going to go up just a little bit. Yeah, so you can't go up just a little bit. I feel it's the conveyor underneath causing it to feel like, because that one's going up just a bit to line up perfectly over there. It's the conveyor underneath that's making it look that way. That's okay. You know what? We'll just match that. We'll just match that a little bit. All right, I'll take it all the way the rest of the way. Easy. Easy stuff. Dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and put a nice wall in. Do we want to put a wall right here or over here? Let's leave ourselves a little bit of room. This is why you want to make lots and lots of concrete if you're a big wall builder. Like I am in this particular playthrough. Very rarely do I build this many walls, by the way. Very rarely do I go to this degree. But I do feel like it's a fun thing to do once you get it down and you know you got your concrete squared away. Feel free to go to it. Build yourself a big, ginormous factory. Again, going to speed up a little bit. Hope you don't mind. Okie dokie. So we got these walls up here, and every time I'm making walls now, all I'm thinking about is how I can take my power from one side and running it to the other side over here. Now we might come back later and expand this a bit. We need more cables or other things. But what we need to do is we need to bring our power from over there, and we need to run it over here. just to make it a little bit easier for me to manage this stuff over here. And we're just going to run it right down in front of here. We don't really need a whole bunch of connectors down the wall for right now. Run that there. Right there. And right there. All right, nice. We are kicking butt. How we doing? How we doing? Oh, man, we're right on time, too. Right on time. All right, so that's producing that cable. Let's make sure we tell this one what we want it to be. Cable. That's producing that cable as well. Now, we need to get this up and out of here. We don't want to put it down to the ground level when we're running this out. We'll do that. Oop, nope, we don't want to do that one. Anytime I'm running to the rest of the conveyor, I'm doing level 3s now. We can just kind of run that across. And now that wire should make its way all the way down there as fast as it possibly can. As fast as it can with my conveyors anyway. So it's going to buzz on down here. And it should end up right here. Let's wait for it. I love the kind of first run you do when you're setting up your conveyors. How it runs down the thing and then ends into the box. Now notice how all those ones were together. That's because some of those were already pre-built, so they all came out at the same time. But you'll start to see a rhythm to how they run down your conveyors. If there's space in between them, that means your conveyor is faster than what is being produced. If there's no space, then either you're exactly efficient or you're not efficient enough. Depending on, what your output is. So there we go. And that's going to run, and that's going to run up to the top part. Now, we got one more thing to do, and that is we want to go in and we want to run our stuff here. Now, we're going to actually split this coming out of here. Right now, we don't have it split. Right now, we just have it coming straight down and running there. But we're going to split this so it's running in half, because right now it's actually running at a really fast speed. It's running at 240 down all of these as it's priming those up. We're going to take the other one here. We're going to split this and we're going to run it over to this side where we can go ahead and make our copper sheets. Now, if we remember what our copper sheets were, those were just 6 of these. I'm going to run those over here on this side and leave a bit of room around all of this. And then 6 of these for our copper sheets. Oh, no, we don't have enough wire, everybody. Well, we got plenty now, don't we? We got plenty now running into that box. Now, if we want to get to it, right now, since it's running up there, I could go, grab it off the conveyor if I want. But we can go up here and check and see if our wire is good. Let's just take that out now. And let's see if our wire is running into the right box. It is. Awesome. Cranking its way into that box right there. One more copper item to go. Okay, so that's cranking along there very nicely. And now we don't have to make any more wire and we don't have to make any more cable. We're good to go. And again, let's do this in groups of 3. Okay, so 3 and 3 because it's going to be a total of 6 of those. Let's go over here and split this. Now, how do we want to do our splitter? That's a good question. How do we want to do our splitter? Now, there's 1,000 different ways to do it here, everybody. Let me stretch a little bit. It's been 3 hours. I got to take a break here, too. How are we doing on that battle? 4 minutes. All right, we'll try to take a break after this battle. I just get up and walk around so I can stretch a little bit and then keep on going. We're going to do some New World after we get these copper sheets done. We're going to go ahead and switch over to New World, do a bit of that. Let's see. So I feel like I want to do a stack split. Actually, I probably should have left that there. Let's take this out. Let's leave just a conveyor level 1 here and do it this way. What I call a stack split is this. You got your splitter, and then you kind of line it up to this, and you kind of go back by 2. Don't count the first one. So 1, 2. Let's line it up, and right about there. Oh, that's too close. Too close. We're going to probably need 3. So don't count the first one. 1, 2, and then 3. There we go. And then we'll run that up. That's good. That's good. So it's going to come in from this side, and it's going to run that way, but then also it's going to run off in that direction as well. And that's what I call a stack splitter. So you're stacking them up like that. And that's pretty good. We take the bottom one out, and then we can run it from over here. It's going to run into there. There we go. And that's going to run into there very nicely. And that's going to bring our ignits through. And that's going to keep that production going over there. Now the other one's going to go this way. Now we got to watch out because we've got our other item in the way. But by the way, I could actually put the conveyor on the other conveyor. Like that. Which is kind of cool if you think about it. That's kind of neat. Kind of neato. But what we want to do is we want it to be real nicely run. So we're going to go ahead and use our stackers. We're going to see how many away. Let's count that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's only 4 away. So let's go ahead and do the same thing over here. Now these are going to be splitters over here. And we're going to do some inline splitters again. So we've been doing a lot of inline stuff today. And let's start right about there. And so we could run it, and it's going to actually 6 us back here. So it's actually further than we really have to worry about. And so we're going to go up here, and we're going to go ahead and do this with our lifter. And we're going to bring it from here straight to our lifter because it can fit. And it shouldn't be hitting anything up there. Looks great. We got that perfectly set up. That's very nice. And so that's going to run and be even with that other level. And then now all we got to do is put these in. So easy, easy, right? Easy stuff. Just make sure we got our splitters running in the correct direction, that they're lined up. And so I'm going to put the rest of these in. And that one's redundant at the end. We're not even going to bother. Oh, that one's not lined. Oh, maybe it is. I think you guys get the gist of this. We're going to just speed up, put all these together. Make that look nicer. Okie dokie. All right, so now we've got all of our copper sheet ones ready to go. This is all from one node, by the way. All from one pure node. Pretty insane. It's going to be a lot of all of this. Like that. And we're going to go ahead and bring down the rest of our factory. Gotta watch out we don't get too close to our little toxic area there. That's why it's good to have a lot of concrete. Oops. More copper down there. If I needed more. Which I really don't. All right. Happy Building and Code Staff Appreciation Day. Also, Tofu Day. Well, hey, every day for me is building day. I love to build. I love building all sorts of fun stuff. Okay, there we go. And then we'll run this same wall down since we've already established the wall. I hate when it splits it around the wrong way. All right, I got to get on this side. It's just trying to troll me today. Stop it. Okay, we got a battle coming up. All right. While I'm putting in this wall, let's go ahead and do this battle. Now try to finish this. We'll take a break. Stream Raiders battle time. All right, open the captain chest. Show you guys love. JC Hunter getting some more love. Hattie Lady, I think that is. I'm going to butcher your names totally. With the 12 kills coming in MVP. And we got plenty of battles going on today. Sorry for the late start, but man, we're making up for it now. That's for sure. With a ton of battles. Let's just go ahead and just try this little left corner that time. I feel like the left corner sounds like a little fun. A little bit of fun. Spaghetti style. Da-da-da-da-da. Spaghetti style. All right, let's try to put these back in. Oh, let me turn the sound back on. I had to run and get some more concrete. Okay, so now we need to bring up our power. From over there to over here, and this is 6 of these. So let's say, right about there. All right, our wires connect really far away, as you can see. They're actually twice as long as your conveyor belts. Very handy. That one's already maxed. It's at 4. Should have probably put one in the center here. Let's put one of these right there. Let's take this out. Just to kind of back up. We're going to run all this power. Put this other one in the center so we can get this. All right, already off it goes because we already told it what we wanted to be. Copper sheets. It's already backlogged a bunch of copper ignits in there. Now it's going to do a bunch of copper sheets. Now the cool thing is we're already pretty close to where we want it to be, right? Because I'm building it toward the direction I want it to be. So it's literally right at the end of here. I could just feed that into that part that we want, which is actually right here. And we can go ahead and run that across there. Now our belts are going to be, again, 6 away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so close. So close, everybody. So close to that thing, but that's okay. We'll just do another double wall over here. And then up there, going in the correct direction. There we go. So this one right here is going to be our copper sheets. All right, let's merge it and we're done. That's it. We got her done. A lot of good stuff we got done today. Oh, that's first merger we don't need. Let's just skip ahead here a little bit. Hey, what's going on? Did I put that the wrong way? I put it the wrong way. This way. Okay, so here comes our copper sheets ready to rock. Oh, these are all copper sheets. What am I doing? What am I doing? I thought I only had 3. I didn't have just 3. I got a whole bunch. I got 6 copper sheets. Really starting to get a little flighty there. There we go. Okay, this one coming out. Okay, that's all looking good. And then we need to get it right there. So let's go ahead and see how we want to do this. Let's put a lifter right there. And we'll just align it with a nice little lifter or conveyor pole. Feel like we'll go ahead and move that forward by a couple. And when we bring that out, it'll be a nice 90 there. And across over there, easy peasy. And then in theory, we should be all done with our copper too. So not only did we do our screws, not only did we do our wire, we did our cable, we did our copper sheets here. Those are looking good. Running down into our copper sheets box. Showing up, yep. Let's go ahead and check up above and see if we're seeing our copper sheets and our wire, which we already kind of looked at earlier, but we'll just check. Everything's going in there. Look at that. Screws filling up. Over here, wire filling up. Cable filling up. Sheets filling up. There we go. We got it done. So we got our, these are what I consider the basics, right? You get all of these basics down. Then you have the tools and the resources to make all the other stuff. And then you want to make the rest of this, which I knew we weren't going to get to today, but we'll work on that tomorrow. At 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's look at our power. Still looking rock solid. Rock solid on that power. Rock solid on our resources. Right there is a perfect time to save. Let's see. Rocking it. Let's do that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take a quick break. And while I'm taking a quick break, you guys can watch my production doing its thing over here. Get up here nice and high. You can watch it running all of the resources where it needs to go. Now, see, I see something over here that I already see is a problem. When I look over here, I can see that one, that is not running over there. I can see up here on this belt up here, there's no wire running there. I can see that these ones are yellow behind. That means there's something wrong with my production. So I need to double check that real quick first. Let's go double check it. Figure out what's up. Now, usually what it is, it's this thing. So let's take that out, and then we'll put it back in again. Almost forgot to fix that. And then now it should be working. There we go. See, I never trust these things. I usually take them out. I put them there temporarily, and then I'll take them out and reconnect them so that we know it's working. So good that we double check that. But we come back later and say, why don't we have any wire or why don't we have any cable? All right, that's what we should be seeing. Should be seeing wire coming out over here. All right, we should see all this stuff feeding into there, as well as seeing the cable coming out over there. So I'll let you guys watch that for just a bit. Going to take a quick break just to stretch my feet, stretch my legs, and walk around on my feet, and then I'll be right back. So feel free to talk amongst yourself in the chat. We'll be right back. We're going to play some New World. Pretty fun. Told you I'd be right back. There's nothing like watching beautiful efficiency, everybody. I love watching some efficiency do its thing over here. So we're utilizing all of our pure node right here. This is producing wires. It's producing cables. And then on this side, pumping out the copper sheets. That's it, everybody. We win. We win. We got it going. We did some inline. We did some center splitting over here. Easy, easy stuff. This is the beginning of the game stuff. But what we've done is we've gone in and we've brought it up to the upper level. We've done all of our stuff from down below and we brought it up into this level when it comes to smelting down our raw resources and then bringing them up here after they've been smelted, so that you're basically doing it in stages. You're doing your first stage of converting raw ore into smelting. Then you're into your second stage where you're converting into wire and cable and all of that. And then we'll take that and we'll go ahead and convert into the next stage, the third stage of making stuff out of it, or we're going to be making the higher level resources. And those higher level resources will be done over on the other side over there, and it'll start making us a bunch of other fun stuff. So we're gonna call it right there. So the next thing that we're going to work on is going to be our thing here. If I get down the ladder up, or I just jump down, whatever. Whatever works. I always forget that I have my skate so I can jump down. It'd be just fine. All right, so the next thing we need to work on, we've all done all of our basics here, right? Right here and right here. Now, we've also got quick wire already running over on the other side. So that one we actually have done too. But the other one we need to work on is our steel beams and our steel pipes. And that's going to be super easy because we've already run the coal and we've already run the iron that we need, the raw iron, that we need to make steel. So all we have to do is just build it, right? That's all we have to do. We're going to get that going on over in the other side of the factory. So we'll go ahead and run ourselves over there, and we'll be ready to get started straight away next time, which will be in the morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to play some New World here in just a moment. So we're going to run over here, and we're going to look at where did we bring that up over here? I think it was right around here. Yeah, right around right there. Let's go double check. Whee! Yep, there we go. So we've got a pure node right here, doubled up with a Mark II right now, producing 240 iron ore. Already has power because it's already full of ore. You can see right there. And it's going to run into the wall and run up that wall like that into this upper area, in which we can go ahead and combine it with our copper, which is right, our coal right over here. So we're going to run that down. Now, eventually, we're going to take all of these stackers and all this stuff out and just use wall connectors and run things down along the wall connectors, everything. We're going to refine all of that next time as well. But we're going to end up with our steel production right here, really actually right out along this area here. Our steel production here, and then we're going to utilize that other one that we were talking about earlier. We are going to run it back. We're going to utilize this other one over here for our steel production, or we can just move our steel production over and run another separate line. And we want those steels to end up way, way over here into the far side. We want them to end up in these boxes way at the end over here, right? Those are our kind of end ones. Now, we have some of those boxes we still need to make. So let's go see where those steel boxes are. I feel those ones are at the end of what we just did. Yeah, right there. So these three boxes here need to be established down below. And you can see we don't have any of those down below. And you're like, oh, Kismet, jump down there. All right, why not? I took a little damage, I'm fine. But you can see here, you go ahead and grab this, and we're going to need to expand these as well. So let's just give ourselves a little bit of a reminder for next time that we're going to need to put 1, 2, 3 of these here. We can already see the problem because we've got our road right through there. So we're going to have to readjust our road and readjust all of that. But we're going to need 3 of those, and I don't even have enough. Why don't I have enough stuff on me? Oh, it's because it's not that I don't have enough stuff, because there's no foundation there. There we go. All right, we'll come back. We'll stack all of those. We'll redo all of that. We'll run it up to the thing. We'll fix all the stuff. We'll do the thing and the stuff and the thing. That'll probably be the first thing we'll need to do. So I'm going to leave my character right here. And we're going to say steel production production. Steel production. All right, there we go. So that'll remind us for tomorrow to do steel production. Hey everybody, Kismet here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right in the center of the screen. Also check me out live on twitch.tv/Kismet. I'll see you all next time.